Welcome back, everybody, to the Event Horizon podcast. Here with a bunch of random friends playing D&D online. As per usual, I am your lovely dungeon master, Evan Johnson. Some might not call me lovely, but I'm lovely. Deal with it. And then I am joined with, going down the list,
Alannah, who plays Uricius Turret.
Erin, who plays Gob the Gremlin.
Maddie, who plays the illustrious Hugo Humperdinck.
Kak, who plays Kiddy Lynd.
Peri, who plays Sawyer and Daisy.
Yorkee, playing the more illustrious Xulen Khan.
Anyways, so this is the second episode. If you have not seen the first episode, please go watch it, support the channel, share it around. It means a lot. I wanted to give the little heads up that for the next few episodes, you're probably going to notice that some players' mics are going to change. We're in the middle of practically upgrading everybody's mic. Yeah, next week we'll have 2 to 3 new mics coming in, and then a little bit after that, Alannah will also be replacing hers. So, yeah, we're slowly upgrading the quality of mics and everything for people, just that way it's a more enjoyable podcast experience. As far as the podcast itself goes, down in the description of the YouTube, I'm not really I think I can probably put them on Spotify and Apple. I'm working on that. But if you go to the YouTube channel, the Event Horizon podcast, down in the description, there's a link to the Discord where you can come in and you can talk with all of our friendly faces and ask us questions and talk about the podcast in general, or just D&D or video games or dork around. All of it's kindly accepted and welcomed. We have a website down in the description, Event Horizon D, the letter N, D, not the ampersand. Yeah, there is going to be also episodes where you can go there, you can listen directly on the website, or you can also go ahead and download them. I will also, by the time that this one comes out, I'll more than likely have a resources tabs filled out where you can see all of the player stats by level. You can also see various kind of maps and everything that I've made for the setting will all be released there. I mean, it's unlikely you're going to want to run something in the world, but just in case, or you want to ask questions about it, or you want to have a reference, they should all be up there by the time that this comes out. I get that. And then last talking point, we are on YouTube, we are on Spotify, iTunes, or we will be on iTunes and Google Play here, coming as soon as possible. After that, I will be adding us to a few more smaller platforms. We'll also be on any platforms that use iTunes as a scraping kind of algorithm, that way they can get their own podcasts. So a lot of the smaller apps that people tend to use get stuff from iTunes initially, so you'll more than likely see us on there. I'll go through and kind of approve all the ones that can actually use us. Yeah. And then also in the description, we have links to various kinds of social medias and all that kind of jazz for people that want to kind of put it there. Other people don't really have anything that they really want to leak to, which is perfectly fine. I think my Instagram's down there. I just put it down there. I post photos occasionally, that's about it. Down there we also have Erin's Twitch. Erin, you want to give yourself a little shout out?
Yeah. My Twitch. You can look me up on Dead Girls Monster on Twitch, which is Dead Girls and then Monster, but with an H instead of an R at the end. It's all one word.
Nice.
I like to play, like, video games. I've only been playing Detroit Become Human and Dragon Age Inquisition so far, so.
And then also in the description, we also have Alannah's Twitch. Take it away.
Yes, you can find me on most platforms as Lovely Cute Kit. The L, C, and K are almost always capital. I am a variety streamer by nature. I've done a lot of different things. You'll catch me sometimes crocheting on stream or just chatting with people who stop by. But the main thing I do is play a wide variety of video games. The ones I tend to go back to, Minecraft, Hollow Knights, any of the Soulsborne games. Just, a mixture of calming and you want to rip your hair out.
Also, in the next coming month or so, I am going to be making more videos than I used to. So I'll eventually link kind of my music channel, and I also want to start a channel about D&D stuff, because people like to pick my brain about D&D stuff, so why not talk about it for people to see? So eventually those will be linked down there as well, and we'll also add other people's social medias. Some people are also talking about making a social media for their character themselves, and kind of replying in character, which we think is a fun little idea, and we'll see where it goes from there. And we will keep you guys updated about that.
And the official podcast Twitter at some point will be on there once a few things are done being set up.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yeah. And with that, our little 6-minute spiel, just shouting out everything, we are ready to get into this episode of the Event Horizon. So, as we kind of last left off, the various adventurers found their way to Jocelyn's carriage, a pretty upbeat little tavern area located in Grimesport, off the Barrens coast of Anun, Western Anun to be precise. After meeting each other by various means, some being acquainted prior, others seemingly just staying in the tavern, others just getting there that same day. Party meets up. There is an immediate confrontation between Gob and Xulen. Not before there kind of is a couple ideas of what's going on in the town. We hear about some sailors, presumably, who have lost one of their men to a mysterious fog coming from the Crimson Grove nearby. We heard a bunch of adventurers that recently came to town. We also heard about some dwarves and humans talking about events going on in the mines. After this confrontation between Gob and Xulen kind of took off a little bit more, Gob was intimidated, to say the very least, and ran off by herself, hiding off for a majority of the session. Very, very, very strong stealth. After the party kind of goes about trying to save Gob, but also find Gob at the same time, by which point a mysterious fog has kind of rolled into the town. It's not too uncommon to see fog from the Crimson Grove, however this one is significant because it just kept growing and becoming more and more opaque. Eventually, howling and barking was heard in the background. A very mysterious thing going on there. Eventually, as the party decided that they needed to go indoors for their own safety, a dog jumps out of the fog and teleports, mauling one of the players. This event kind of goes on as you see a pack of these hounds kind of go after the players. After killing a few of them and kind of gaining their footing, players going up and down, a kind of green witch hag-like person is kind of commanding a lot of these dogs, it seemingly. However, after seeing the players overtake her kind of beasts of war, she turns invisible and seemingly leaves no trace behind whenever she leaves. The players all upset about their current circumstances. Gob, very angry that she couldn't hit the hag, runs off on her own into an alleyway, to which the party all had a fairly long conversation about the current ordeal. Xulen came to the realization that Gob is in fact not the goblin he is hunting, and at which point a town guard kind of comes to the heroes and kind of proclaims them as the heroes of the town, however saying that that's probably not the end of it, and they should get indoors just for safety reasons. They're asking the whole town to get indoors. After being kind of escorted through town, where they were cheered and celebrated by a lot of the townsfolk after they just kind of watched what happened, we ended just as they entered Jocelyn's carriage. And with that, we'll hop into tonight's episode.
So, I imagine Uricius is getting through the door first, because he is just very upset. He's trying to stay as far away from Xulen as possible, after previously basically going up one side of him and down the other, because of how upset he was that he just randomly tried to attack Gob with no good reason, aside from, oh, looks like the right goblin. So, he's probably just gonna go and ignore the rest of the party and go straight to his room.
Alright.
I believe Hugo is still draped over Sawyer, still a little bit sloppy drunk.
Alright, as Uricius kind of goes by, you see Jocelyn kind of celebrating a little bit, kind of like tapping two glasses on each other as you walk by. But like she gets the quick kind of idea that you're not in a very particularly good mood and kind of slows down a little bit and just goes back to the rest of the party and continues clanking them.
Uricius will nod at her to, like, acknowledge the fact that he appreciates it, but he's still very obviously upset.
Alrighty.
Sawyer also acknowledges Jocelyn, but points at him basically dragging Hugo through the door and like, this guy's had enough. Let me get him taken care of, and I'll be right back.
Another round of shots for everyone.
You've had enough.
I haven't. Especially not after that magnificent fight. You all deserve another drink.
Listen, you need to go to bed. You've already had too much before we started fighting.
You see
A shot
Jocelyn,
will keep me awake.
Jocelyn kind of behind the counter, kind of doing like a thumbs up, thumbs down situation, looking at the rest of you, very obviously kind of ignoring Hugo.
I imagine Uricius is just within earshot and goes, ignore him, before going up the stairs.
Just a slow nod
Come
from
on,
her.
don't you all want to celebrate?
Kitty is
You can
going
celebrate
to.
when you're sober. And Sawyer just keeps dragging him
Okay.
and following Uricius because he's assuming they're rooming together.
Mhm.
So
Xulen is
God, no.
kind of walking past. Yeah, he was going, celebration is nice, but let's wait till we're sure we're not going to all die tonight. And he goes up to Jocelyn and basically asks how much a room is going to be.
Room?
I've got rooms.
What-
You all can stay in one of mine.
How many rooms?
She kind
Wow.
of tilts her head. Ma'am, you only have 2 rooms. Or, sir, you only have 2 rooms.
But 5 beds.
I'll take my own individual room, please.
It'll be 5 silver for the night.
Sounds fair. He tosses her 5 silver, and he pretty much starts going up there.
Alright. She is going to give you the room of... Sorry, I had it marked. I'll come back to that in just 1 second. You are parked up in room 6B.
Hugo looks over at Kitty and gives her, like, raises his eyebrow a little bit suggestively at her. You wanna share my room?
Now, I believe it's time that I got my own room. And Kitty's gonna clap her hands and go over to talk to Jocelyn.
Oh,
How much is a room? 5 silver, you said?
come on, you.
Yeah, it'll just be 5 silver.
Sawyer
right.
is dragging Hugo away at this point. And yes, Uricius, where is his?
Uricius will point to wherever his room is and go, just drop him at the door, see how he does.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm going to hand Jocelyn 5 silver.
Alright, go ahead and mark it off your character sheet. She's gonna take it from you. Go ahead and give you room 5B. Here you go. Checkout is at noon tomorrow. Just make sure that you and your friends are away.
Right. Thank you. But I have one more question.
Yes, how may I help you?
I'm going to be going out tomorrow, and I was wondering, are there any parts of town that we should avoid? Any abandoned areas?
Hun, are you not familiar with Brimesport, are you?
No, I just got here this afternoon. It was this afternoon, right?
Yeah, it was this afternoon.
Right, yeah.
We're a pretty open city, if you know, but there's not really any... Don't go near the Grimes estate. Lady Grime is a fickle individual and doesn't really like a lot of people looking at her plants.
I see.
Besides...
Very protective of plants, I see.
Besides that, we don't really have anything that's abandoned or anything like that.
Okay, thanks for answering my question. I'll be going now. No drinks for me. Goodbye. And Kitty is going to go upstairs.
Just
Is there an upstairs?
yes, all the rooms are upstairs. As the A rooms are all on the first floor, the B rooms are on the second. Immediately after that kind of conversation, you get a little bit of kind of like big eyes coming from Jocelyn, just a little bit of confusion, but she just kind of quickly shakes it off and goes along. Yes, remember noon. All right, and what are the rest of you guys doing?
Yep, no worries.
Sawyer is probably. Okay. Sawyer has probably gotten to Hugo to his room by now, and he just kind of, like, he just kind of unceremoniously dumps him in front of the door.
All right.
Go the fuck to sleep.
Hugo will, after some struggling of trying to get the key into the hole,
All right.
swing the door open and then collapse face first onto his bed.
Sawyer closes the door behind him.
Erin, what is Gob doing?
Gob is probably already in her room asleep, which
Alright.
I don't know how Hugo set it up, but I like to picture that he has his own little like princess style dog bed for Gob that sits at the foot of his bed.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And then Uricius is in like the room connected to us, just in horror at the setup.
Mhm.
Oh, and not just in horror, he's planning on how to get rid of that bed without you noticing right away.
It's really soft. It's actually like a really soft bed, and it's got like a canopy and everything. And like the cat's asleep on the canopy.
As the rest of you guys all kind of make your way up to your rooms, as you kind of enter them, they're pretty like well kept and kind of almost upper class kind of room. It's a pretty nice little setup. As you kind of like fill the quilts and everything, they're extremely soft and well crafted. The room looks like spick and span, perfectly clean. There's not like a sign of dust or like cobwebs or anything going on in it. Curtains are kind of in very flamboyant colors, kind of like showing off the kind of the nobility-esque of this tavern. As you kind of look around, there's kind of fine artwork displayed all over the room. Even like the desk has some fine craftsmanship and kind of woodworking carvings of various kind of like dragons and sailors and all sorts of jazz going on it. So we know the whereabouts of everybody except Xulen. Where is Xulen at currently?
Xulen was heading off to his room.
Okay. And all of you guys, I assume, just kind of head into your rooms independently. So it would be Gob and Hugo are in the same room, which has kind of a connecting door over to Uricius. And then Sawyer is right next to that room, which has a connecting door over to Kiddy. And then Xulen is kind of off on their own thing. The kind of connecting door in between the rooms is locked by default, but you can choose to open it. I would say all of you are kind of like aware of who's your neighbor, except whoever's in 1B. You guys really haven't seen who's in that room.
Uricius has that connecting door like blocked. I imagine that like he has the table in front of it and everything looks fine. Like, he has it set up all prim and proper. It's just in front of the door. So unless Hugo's really trying, he won't get in.
Hugo is not interested in men. You're safe.
Oh, no. Just in case he decides to wake him up early in the morning. Uricius really values his sleep, you know?
All right.
Clearly, Uricius doesn't know Hugo very well.
Are any of you guys going to try and do something in the night, or are you just going to try to get a long night's sleep after that?
Sawyer's
something
probably
in the
going.
night, all right.
Sawyer's probably going to write in his journal a little bit before going to sleep.
Xulen is going to be taking out
There-
his lute and tuning a little bit and trying to learn how to play this instrument.
As you guys all in the tavern can kind of hear like the faint echoing and vibrations coming from the lute. Very obviously someone that isn't really accustomed to the instrument, but you can tell a couple chords kind of get off. They're getting the handle of it, but the tuning process was particularly rough on the ears.
Very sad. Kitty's gonna have to give you some pointers later.
Alright, so
what time is it? Can Kitty tell what time it is?
it's probably it's 2 hours past nightfall around this time, somewhere around that area.
2 hours. All right. She is going to spend a little bit of time sort of sorting out where she's putting her things in this room, and she's going to take an hour, wait for everyone to fall asleep. So hopefully there's no interruptions for what she's going to do later. Is there a lock on the connecting door to Sawyer?
Yes.
Alright, Kitty's going to lock that door. Hopefully Sawyer doesn't notice. She doesn't take a lot of precaution there. It's just, casual locking.
Okay.
Well, if he noticed, he wouldn't care. Like, he has it unlocked just in case his side of things unlocked, because in case he needs to go, in case someone needs him for something.
Mm-hmm.
But if you notice, he doesn't care.
Okay.
Alright, Kak walks to the door. Is there anything else that you want to do?
She's gonna wait an hour before she sneak out. Is there a window?
Yes, there are 2 windows.
There are 2 windows. Alright. So Kitty's gonna open one of the windows and peer outside. Is there anyone outside or around that she can perceive?
As you kind of look out the window, it kind of leads onto the main road of Gramsport, kind of a gravelly stone road. But although you can kind of tell that's well kept in general, you kind of overlook the giant citadel to. You can't really know who the god or goddess is, but there's a giant church there, and kind of like a residential area that surrounds it. Not a lot of people out. You see a couple kind of what you assume clergy kind of in hoods and stuff walking around the temple area. On the main road though, you see this fairly like lush carriage. Very, very kind of noble and well kept, decked out in like reds and grays, coming from the Grimes estate. You see various kind of like curtains and everything. There is no way to see inside this. You don't even see the person that is currently driving. You just see the reins kind of sticking out through this curtain.
Okay. How far is the drop from the window?
You're on the second story. It's like a 10 feet drop or so.
Okay. So Kitty is going to cast invisibility.
Okay.
And she is going to hop out of this window.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Okay.
You can give me athletics or acrobatics not to take the damage from that fall.
Acrobatics. Okay. I'll do that. Oh wow. 21.
Alright. Yeah, you kind of land real easily and do a little bit of a roll to kind of cancel out your momentum, but no issue with the fall or anything. The second that you kind of land, the carriage just kind of goes right past you in your sight, not even paying attention, slowing down, or anything like that.
Okay, cool.
However, as it passes by you, you notice that there's a slight little opening between some curtains, as if someone's kind of peering out, and despite it being like completely pitch black on the inside of the carriage itself, you see these kind of gray pupils just standing out. And then the second that you kind of realize that, the curtains are kind of shut real quick.
So Kitty couldn't tell anything else about the person, couldn't see any more features or anything?
No, it looked pitch black inside the carriage.
These nobles, lots of questions. Anyway, Kiddy isn't sure where she's supposed to meet her informant here. So, she's going to assume they know enough about her that they know she plays a theorbo, and she's going to open her instrument case because she took that, mentioned that. And she's going to play her theorbo as she kind of walks around, probably trying to walk around more narrower streets.
Okay.
Yeah. Right person notices.
Do you do it more in kind of the port area across the main bridge, or do you do it more in kind of like the residential area?
Always the port area, because residence, that's where everyone is. So,
Okay.
yeah, not going there.
Give me a perception check as you're kind of walking along the now fairly silent and just kind of hearing the ebb and flow of the waves. What you get? What you get?
Rolling, did it roll? I guess not. Did it do it? That's a 12.
Alright. As you're kind of walking around, you see various kind of marketplaces and such that have been closed down. Various kind of large warehouses, which you assume is like for holding cargo and all that kind of jazz. You do notice that there's one of these nomadic, kind of Viking-esque looking ships pulling in that you saw earlier, although this one is completely alone. There's not like a formation or anything kind of waiting out for it at this time. But the ship doesn't look anything out of the abnormal. As you kind of continue into the second market area of the town, a lot of these little market stalls have been kind of collapsed and shut down. But in general, as you're playing the Orban, occasionally a light might come on, and kind of like assuming that a resident just kind of wakes up a little bit, looks, sees you, and then just assumes that you're the person from earlier and just turns off the lights again. But you don't really see anything out of the abnormal.
Okay. Let's see. Maybe they would come to her. She's going to drop her invisibility.
Okay.
Yeah. And she's going to be more careful where she walks now because God said we shouldn't be out this late. She's probably going to stick to narrow, like, alleyways. And,
Alright.
yeah, pretty much alleyways. Yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of continue going now with the invisibility kind of dropped. However, after going on for a little bit, you hear the sound of kind of Uricius coming from an alleyway. Like, Kiddy, is that you?
Kiddy is going to he's gonna break out a sweat. Uricius, why did you come out? You shouldn't be out this late. It's dangerous.
Are you just gonna kind of like shout down the alleyway, or are you gonna like try to turn the corner and go for like find where she is?
He's a bit hesitant to
Or
find
where he is. Sorry, I keep doing that.
Where he is, and does she know which alleyway this came from?
Yeah, no. It's fairly obvious, kind of the direction. You're in like a fairly thickly settled area.
Okay, I think she's going to very carefully, like, turn her head around the corner, just kind of peer.
As you kind of look around the corner, as you kind of call out for Uricius, there's no response, and as you kind of look down the alleyway, nothing at all, just kind of the slight breeze coming off the coast.
That's not good. Oh dear. Okay. He is going to. He's gonna speak back. Uricius, are you down here? Wanna respond again, please?
He kind of like yells out, "Yeah, Gob ran off again." Now coming like even further down this alleyway again.
I see. Interesting. Why don't you come out? We can talk and find Gob.
Alright. As you kind of see Uricius turn the corner, the light begins kind of illuminating as he finally makes his way around the corner.
Oh.
Did you see him? Or see her?
Oh. No, I haven't actually. Do you have any idea where they went though? I could look for them and you could go a different way and find them there.
No, she just like ran after, like almost as if she was looking for someone.
I see. Does anything about this Uricius seem off?
You can do an insight roll on that. For the people that are listening, the rest of the group is all yelling and freaking out at me right now. It's a very funny sight. What'd you get on that? 15?
Oh, sorry, my pages aren't loading. What? I don't know what I rolled.
15.
15, yeah.
Yeah, as you kind of I am up, the voice, everything, like the glow seems perfectly fine, the chainmail is setting perfectly fine. It looks 100% like Uricius. Yeah.
All right. Hey, Uricius. Did you happen to see anyone roaming around here by any chance? I was looking for someone as well.
There was a guy in kind of like black armor that kind of walked off towards the Crimson Grove.
Oh, I see. The Crimson Grove.
He was talking about like the Estebar Islands or something.
Oh. You talked to this? How do you know that, Uricius? Did they talk to you?
Yeah, they were asking directions there.
Sight check to see if they're like lying.
This
lies. Are they hiding something?
This 100% seems like Uricius.
Okay. Right. Well, I don't know how they feel about going into Crimson Grove. Did Kitty know that the fog came from there? Because was she around when those elves were talking about the Crimson Grove?
No, that was before you arrived. But you do get the sense that kind of the weird fog that rolled in during the night was kind of emanating from that general direction.
Maybe we should all go there tomorrow and he'll be there. What do you think about that, Uricius?
That's fine with me. But I do want to find Gob though. I hope
right.
she's okay. She's like, I know she can take care of herself, but like, it still worries.
Does this person speak like Uricius?
Yes.
Just like
perfect. A
okay.
Perfect tone.
Perfectly. Okay. Now, as much as I would like to talk to this person, I think it would be best if we looked for Gob and this person with the entire group. why don't we go back and them about it
That
in the morning?
probably makes sense. Oh wait. I could do locate. What's the spell? Locate creature.
Is that a spell?
Yes, that's a spell. I can try to find Gob.
Okay.
As she kind of starts, or as he starts kind of casting a spell. Please make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
Dear. Did that do something? Did this do something? Ow!
What'd you
That
get?
hurts. That's a 9.
Okay. As you kind of see Uricius start casting a spell, as you kind of see some of the glowing energy that you saw before, and a light kind of starts emanating from the hands going up into the sky as if it's about like to dart off in a direction, but then it darts straight at you. And as you become paralyzed from that, I am going to ask you to make a another wisdom saving throw.
Hey.
This time, as he kind of starts talking, it turns into this dark, kind of multiple voices compressed on top of itself, this almost demonic-esque language.
Does this language seem familiar?
Do you speak Infernal?
Oh,
Okay.
10.
Okay. You are going to become cursed.
Oh, I do love being cursed.
So for now, this is going to, you have disadvantage on all charisma saving throws. You have disadvantage on all attacks against this individual. And then as that kind of happens, you almost feel like this this force that's kind of compelling you to be at ease. There's this underlying feeling that this situation is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong here.
And as this is all happening, you see once Uricius kind of changes forms into this kind of hag appearance, but still in your mind, this seems perfectly fine, as if this is just a normal day for you.
Okay.
Your person is no longer held. However, you are cursed.
Oh.
As the hag kind of speaks up, in the voice of Uricius, in perfect kind of dialect and everything. Sorry, I don't think I really found Gob.
How would Kiddy respond to this?
In
So they still look like Uricius?
No, they no longer look like Uricius. However, in your mind, it's almost as if you're talking to a friend.
Oh. He recognizes that this isn't Uricius.
Yes, this is not Uricius, but with the voice of Uricius.
And would she recognize this as the hag from earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. How would she respond to this?
In your mind, it's a friend right now. Like, this is like almost like the level of like a childhood friend.
She doesn't have childhood friends. Okay. Is there anything I can help with then? I'm not sure what I should be.
Yes. As she kind of pulls out from her robe, what looks kind of like almost looks like a fake apple, like one of those like wax apples, and then she kind of hands it over to you. I got this for you earlier. I know that you kind of worked up a fairly big appetite and you kind of went to bed without eating anything, so I just wanted to make sure that you're full and everything. Yeah, so I bought you a couple pieces of fruit and stuff from the tavern.
Hey, am I allowed to look at this piece of fruit and say this is movie fruit?
Yeah, you could.
Add fruit.
You could definitely tell that it looks like a fake apple.
Okay. Are you sure this is from the tavern? This doesn't look full.
As you kind of look at the apple, and then you kind of look back over where the hag was previously, you see Uricius again, and suddenly all thoughts that this was the hag just kind of drift from your mind.
Okay.
Yeah, Jocelyn got it.
Well,
Also, Kat, can you speak up ever so slightly more?
okay. Yeah, I'll just eat it back in my room. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about eating it out in the open. I'm still looking for that guy. Or girl. I'm not sure.
Okay. We can go into the forest tomorrow then?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be great. Look
Alright.
for them there. Yeah. Do you want to come back with me? Or are you still looking for Gob?
I'll keep looking for Gob.
Okay. Tomorrow then. Bye. She's gonna wave to Uricius shyly.
Alright. As you're kind of walking away into the distance, walking back towards the tavern, this wave of almost kind of like mental fatigue and like confusion just washes over you for like a brief moment. You forget like the direction you're going and like what you're supposed to be doing. Then it kind of clicks back to you, like, oh, I'm supposed to be going back to the tavern. But like the past like 20 or so minutes are like kind of a vague memory at this point.
Oh goodness gracious. Kiddy is probably going to be really alarmed by the sudden confusion, and she's going to try and calm herself down, just putting the apple away and kind of dying again.
Okay.
Trying to calm herself down.
You manage to kind of make your way back to the tavern. Are you just gonna go in through the main entrance, or you gonna try to climb your way back up?
She's gonna go through the front entrance.
As you kind of go into the main entrance, you see Jocelyn like very tired, just still kind of rubbing away at the countertop. Like you can tell she's almost falling asleep, kind of busting the countertop. There's like 2 people in the tavern right now, just kind of these older elves that are just kind of playing a game of dragon chess.
Okay. Kiddy is going to. She is mentally, but she's probably physically tired as well. She's going to she's gonna stumble her way over to the bar counter, and she's going to sit down, put her Theorbo up on the table.
Okay.
And she's gonna speak to Jocelyn. Jocelyn,
she like startles awake. What can I get for you?
I was just wondering, you gave Uricius an apple earlier. Was I supposed to eat this, or was this some kind of magic item? And she'll take out the wax apple-looking thing.
Yeah, Uricius asked for some like fruit for you. Just a few minutes after you guys all went up, he came downstairs.
is this edible?
Yeah.
Just asking.
Like, in complete and utter honesty, yeah, that's edible.
Oh, okay. Thank you. This is really kind. And Kitty's gonna try and brighten up more, and she's gonna for Theobro and go back upstairs.
Okay. You just gonna go into your room and go to bed, or?
Yeah. Kitty. Would she recognize this as wax or?
Not necessarily wax, but some sort of fake fruit for sure. You're too kind of like mentally taxed at this point to actually deduce what it really is. But you can tell for sure, like, it's meant to be a fake fruit.
Yeah, Kitty's not that stupid. Someone's pulling a prank. Yeah, she's just getting dunked on by Uricius. She's gonna go to bed.
Alright. As the night kind of goes away, Kak, can you make me a DC 10 Constitution saving throw?
Let's see. What do I get? Did I roll it? No, I didn't.
Alright.
13.
You get this... It's almost like a weird kind of lucid dream, as if you saw the apple just kind of sprout legs and start walking around your room. And you kind of like wake up in the middle of the night, and it's one of those dreams that like you still think you're dreaming initially, but eventually you just kind of bring yourself back into the room. You notice that the apple is still in your bag and everything.
Okay.
And with that,
Weird dreams again.
with that, all of you guys gain the benefits of a long rest. And we start off in the morning.
Long rest.
What is everybody up to?
Right. So Sawyer's probably the first one awake.
Okay.
Having living on the road most of the time and tending to sheep, you tend to wake up really early, just out of habit. So he's probably going to go downstairs to see if anyone else is awake, and if not, he's going to order some breakfast from Xulen.
So, I imagine Uricius will probably already be awake at that time, since elves don't need that much sleep, and apparently Elven ASMR don't need that much either. So he'll kind of open Hugo's room door and kind of go, psst, psst, gob, gob food, gob food.
Gob just like jolts awake, like immediate, just sits up straight and doing sleepy grabby hands.
And Uricius is gonna motion and go, gob food, come here, gob.
She gets out, but she crawls at you on her hands and knees like an animal.
Alright.
Once she's there, Uricius will pick her up and take her downstairs to order them both some food, closing Hugo's
She
door behind.
immediately curls up into your arms against your chest. Like her tail's wrapped around your arm. Her cat just kind of quietly follows along.
Can I roll perception to see if I notice this?
It's up to you. Are you still hungover from the night before, I guess is the question.
Yes.
Probably.
I got a nat 1 anyway.
Okay.
Oh.
So yeah, you wake up a little bit, still completely hungover, like there's some noises going on, you just kind of put the pillow over your face and go back to bed.
Oh no, I don't wake up at all. I am passed out.
Fair enough.
So Uricius will get down there, look at Jocelyn, and go, 2 orders of whatever you got ready.
That'll be up in just a minute. At this point, you guys have kind of seen Sawyer over at the counter as well.
Morning, Sawyer.
Good morning, Uricius. Gob. Y'all sleep well?
Well, this
The
one
arms.
obviously slept well. I slept okay.
Good.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Xulen, how are you gonna sleep in more? Or are you gonna?
No, he was actually sitting there waiting to hear footsteps
Okay.
going down the stairs, and he's actually gonna start walking to Humperdinck's room.
Okay. Yeah, you know the room automatically, but the door is locked.
Pull out my thieves' tools.
I want to point out there is the occasional humanoid walking through this hallway.
It's not an empty hallway.
No, it's a
darn.
still fairly active tavern. You kind of like duck down for a minute, and you're about to bring out your tools, and then you just like notice a person just awkwardly open the door and start walking down the hallway, and you're just like, probably not the best idea.
Yeah. I'm gonna give a loud knock on the door.
All right.
See if
Let's roll again.
hungover Humperdinck enjoys this.
Alright, that's a nat 20. I hear this. I am up.
As you kind of spur awake, you see the door kind of left slightly ajar in between you and Uricius's room. Gob and the cat are just completely out of sight. It looks almost as if Gob kind of got up in a hurry just from like how the bed is generally arranged.
I assume this has happened before at this point.
Oh,
That's-
most certainly.
So Hugo kind of sleepily like wraps the sheet around himself, even though he's still fully dressed from last night, and then walks to the door and opens it.
I am immediately shoving him back in the room as soon as the door is even slightly open, and then locking it back behind us.
Whoa, dude. What's wrong with you?
I believe you owe me a conversation, don't you?
I
He,
think so.
he taps on the forehead. That is, if you can think in your current condition.
I'll be honest, it hurts. I need some water.
The water can wait. Now then, how did you know my name?
I probably heard it at some point. I mean, you kind of have a fairly distinct visage. I'm sure I've heard about you, right? Xulen the bounty hunter. Yeah.
Xulen is not buying that shit for a second.
I mean, Humperdinck's, we've got connections with people, and he kind of like taps the earring, like his ear, like where your earring is. We got connections, so we heard of you.
Xulen's eyes kind of widen a little bit and then immediately narrow. Huh. So you are familiar with this? He taps his earring very quickly.
Yeah, we do dealings with druids all the time.
You know, strangely enough, you keep shouting your name like it means something, but for the life of me, I can't ever remember a Humperdinck. Where are you from again?
Jonio. Certainly you've heard of it.
Would my character actually have heard this name?
Yeah, it's like one of the biggest cities in all of Alannah.
No, the Humperdinck name, not the Junio bit.
No. Offshoot noble name. You probably have never heard of it.
Come on, man. Everybody's heard the Humperdinks.
You're not going to make this easy, are you?
I don't know what you're talking about. If you got a problem with somebody with the last name Humperdinck, then we can talk about it. But otherwise, I don't think I've got anything to say to you.
He kind of just narrows his eyes and goes, fair enough. Oh, by the way, have you gotten in contact with Hugo involving the druids? He was supposed to be near Junio lately. My guy's completely trying to bullshit that to see if your character slips up.
Yeah, we heard of them. They came by Jonio a couple days before I left. They did great work. Really talented upstart.
Oh, that's so relieving to hear. He's been so stressed out about his work lately.
Oh,
I'm glad
yeah.
he's doing good.
As he's talking, Hugo is gonna be quietly slipping his hand towards his waist where he's got his dagger.
As you guys are having this conversation, a rock is sent through your window.
Amazing. All right.
As the glass just kind of shatters everywhere. The rock passes through, and there's obviously a note on it, but then you notice the glass begin to kind of mend itself back into place.
Okay. Would
that's a neat
people
trick.
at the bottom floor hear this?
Probably not. It's upstairs down a fairly long hallway behind like a closed door. It's fairly muffled from where you guys are. If anything, it just sounds like someone was probably like moving some furniture or something like that, which is weird, but nothing super out of the ordinary.
I feel like Uricius would be concerned at this.
What
Is
is
he
Hugo
the
makes
only
a
one?
racket when he gets up in the morning?
Hugo doesn't make that much of a racket, though, I wouldn't think.
It's an active tavern. I wouldn't say it's anything out of the regular. Then like you can even notice that kind of like Jocelyn kind of gives it an eye and just like raises one thing, but just kind of shakes it off the next second.
If Jocelyn's
Someone's probably
giving an eye,
hungover as hell.
Uricius is gonna go upstairs just to see, because he's just like, oh, if Hugo knocks something over, I swear to God.
My guy is kind of staring at the rock right now.
Hugo's immediately gonna pick it up, shove it in his pocket. Look, you need to go. This has been stressful enough. Great guy, but go.
A second rock is sent through the window. Same thing as before. The rock goes through and then the glass kind of mends itself again. That one Uricius hears because he's standing in the hallway at this point.
Uricius
Not the
is
most
gonna
popular fellow, are you, in this town?
Look,
Uricius
the
is
Humperdinck's
gonna
got a lot
run.
going on.
Uricius is gonna run into his room, go through the door connecting, and go, "What the fuck just happened?"
I'm getting fan mail. It's nothing to worry about.
I don't care about. Actually, wait, what? I'm sorry, what? No. Hugo, I don't want to hear it from you. Why are you in his room? Hugo, is there something you need to tell me?
Just a lovely morning conversation.
I don't believe you for a second. Hugo, is there something you need to tell me?
Not at all. I'm just a big old rock star, and Hugo's gonna grab the rock and look at the note this time.
The new one or the old one that you pocketed?
The new one.
The new one is addressed to Xulen.
Oh,
My character probably didn't see that based on how.
No, like
Quickly.
Humperdinck is just kind of like holding the note and like looking at it, but like the thing that you see on like kind of the facing of the note is Xulen.
Xulen
Hugo
just kind of raises an eyebrow.
Hugo pockets it.
Okay.
Uricius is gonna kind of hit Hugo off the shoulder and go, "That didn't have your name on it. Get it out of your pocket."
I will once I'm more presentable. So if you can all leave my room.
Uricius is going to just kind of shove Hugo and aim for the bed, and then just kind of splay himself on top of Hugo and go to Xulen and go, "Okay, get the rock, and then I will let him go, and we can continue this like civilized people."
Do I get a roll against that?
You
I'm
can,
going to
yeah,
resist that.
you can roll against it.
I'll roll strength check.
Yeah, it would be a dex save for you. For Maddie.
Well, I'm good at those. Alright, that's a total of 18.
You don't. I got a 19.
You manage to kind of like wiggle slightly, and just in a moment where you think you're gonna escape, you just kind of get this moment of kind of hungoverness where all of your senses just go numb for a brief second, and the next moment that you come to, he's just holding you down.
Bad touch, bad touch, bad touch.
Yeah, we'll talk about bad touch with the way you look at women with your eyes.
Xulen,
I'm not touching them.
Xulen just casually walks over, and he is just kind of. His face just says he's too tired for all this right now. And he just grabs the letter that was addressed to him.
Okay.
And yours will very quickly get off of Humperdinck.
As you kind of go into there, you're kind of like looking for the rocks. You pull out the other one by mistake, which is addressed to Simon. And then like the other one you kind of go through and you're like, oh, Xulen. Do you take the second rock as well, or do you just like put that back there?
I take note of it, but Xulen puts it back.
Okay.
And I am going to just pocket the note, and, well, as lovely as the morning conversation this has been, I'm going to retire to my room for a quick sec.
Alright.
Yes, and I need to clean up, if you don't mind, Uricius.
Have a good morning, gentlemen.
Yours is gonna follow Xulen and go, oh no, you and me are gonna have a talk. Hugo, be presentable and try to sober up.
Oh, all you do is talk.
Yeah, and it would have been a lot more quiet if you hadn't have made such a rude introduction.
As you guys are all kind of having this conversation, you hear like a slight knock on the door, and then you kind of hear Jocelyn kind of hollering in. Are you awake?
Yes, Hugo is awake. We were just checking on him, and we are about to leave. Thank you for the concern, ma'am.
Do you just like
Don't
say it through
worry,
the
we got
door,
him
open
dressed.
it, or
Oh yeah, Uricius would open the door.
whenever you open the door, there's nothing there.
Okay.
Hugo shakes his head. Ugh, I'm so hungover. I'm hearing voices. Can you...
Yep, we're leaving, and he'll drag
Good,
Xulen.
good.
Okay.
He'll close the door nicely behind him and go, so, morning conversations. And
Xulen immediately puts a finger up to his lips and goes, I was the only one who heard that voice, was I?
no, and we're gonna talk about that. Not next door. We'll go to your room, and then we'll just talk theories and talk about that conversation. Shall we?
We shall not.
Oh, we shall. And Uricius will start pushing him towards his room.
Be fun.
I didn't realize Uricius was so aggressive with his men.
I know.
Alright,
Only when he's
I'm gonna
had his
drink
back
first.
as you guys are kind of forced over into your other room, Humperdinck, what are you doing?
He's gonna read that letter, first and foremost. Like, cursing to himself the entire time.
Okay.
Frickin' nonsense. Bastards.
Simon, danger level, dragon. Ancient black dragon seen off coast nearby, along with multiple Fae sightings. Gather information and report back.
Frickin' piece of nonsense. Is there like a fireplace in here?
No, there's not. It's downstairs in kind of the main
Downstairs.
tavern. Yeah.
Alright, he's gonna crumple up this piece of paper, put it in his pocket to burn later.
Okay.
Burn it.
Burn, baby,
I'm-
burn.
I'm assuming at this point, we're probably at his door,
Yeah.
and Uricius will go, we can have the conversation in the hallway, or we can have it where there's a little bit more privacy. You have your choice. I'm perfectly fine having this conversation in the hallway, good sir.
I love how you think any of this matters to you. But fine, we'll adjourn to my room if that makes you more comfortable. Just
Oh.
try not to jump on top of me, please.
No, that's reserved for Hugo since he's an ass.
Noted.
And we'll go into the room. He'll close the door behind him and lock it, and immediately go, so, I don't care what you were talking about with Hugo. I just want to know that note. Because whoever threw that through the window had a
You heard glass shattering. However, when you walked in, there was no glass. Window was perfectly fine. There's just a rock on the
He
ground.
can use mending. He knows. He knows. He's not that dumb. He knows mending. He knows it's possible.
Give me an intelligence check on that.
Okay. He knows. I'm sorry. A dirty 20, he knows.
Alright. Sorry, continue with what you're doing.
So, I don't even, you don't, if it's 100% bounty hunter related, then fine. I don't need to know the details. What I need to know is if there is danger in the immediate vicinity, because whoever is getting that note to both you and Hugo means business. That is all I care about. Hugo's more likely to burn the note. I am willing to talk to a civilized man who's actually worried about these sort of things, not Hugo.
Xulen just sort of gives a small chuckle to that one that thought that you were even somewhat complimenting him.
Oh.
And he actually goes, I'm actually not sure what the note says myself yet.
Well,
If you give me some a quick bit of privacy, I'll read it.
Uricius will gesture to the floor and go, "You've got the rest of the room. I won't look."
Not quite that simple. Not sure what sort of arcane abilities you have, and I prefer if you waited outside the door. Don't worry. I'll let you back in as soon as I'm done reading it, and we can have our little fun chit-chat.
There's a window. I hear it open. I'm coming in, and I don't care how this door opens.
Fair enough.
Good. And he'll walk out the room.
Xulen will make sure to lock it first, and then he's going to start reading the note.
Alright. As you kind of open it up, Xulen, danger level, dragon, ancient red dragon, sighted off coast, multiple phase spottings as well. All other missions are dropped.
He is going to pocket the note really quick. And then he's gonna unlock the door and let Uricius back in.
So?
Well, potential danger. That's the most I can figure out from it. What to do about it, I have no idea.
I will add, just from your experience, a black dragon is inherently evil and only wants to see the devastation of the societies. And also ancient black dragon.
Fair enough. Xulen by now is trying to think of how much to actually reveal this person to just get him off his back.
Yeah, no, I was just pointing that out because I wasn't sure if I made it clear.
So how much danger are we talking? Because honestly, I just want to know the threat. I won't get you involved. I won't get in your way if it's something you plan on taking care of. I just want to know how many people I need to be taking care of in this immediate situation.
Immediate? Nothing immediate. Just stuff for the future to plan for.
Okay. But again, I need to know that danger level so I know who to contact.
Xulen is pondering this one. This is just being a real thorn in his side at this point.
Look, I know I'm being a pain in the ass, and I know I'm inconvenient, but you threatened a friend, and this is the least you owe.
As you kind of hear Jocelyn, the rest of you guys are downstairs. You've all been kind of served this porridge with bread kind of thing. The rest of you guys upstairs in the hallway, you kind of hear Jocelyn walk up the stairs a little bit and just kind of shout down the hallway, "Breakfast is ready."
Thank you, ma'am.
Xulen is just pondering this. Fine. I'll reveal this much at least. Get ready for a dragon. I don't know when, don't know how far, don't know why. But a friend in the bounty hunter business decided enough to tell me that.
Wait, if it's bounty hunter related 100%, then why the hell would they be contacting Hugo? That doesn't make sense.
2 rocks? Maybe he really does have a lover.
You don't know this man well enough. The women like staring at him, but they won't get close if they know what's good for them.
Right? Don't know much about him, but maybe somebody else didn't. Perhaps a little wayward lover wants to get a close look at him and invite him. Either way, not my business.
Either way, thank you, and I will stop being a pain in the ass and leave that to Hugo.
I highly doubt that.
The only reason I'm such a pain to you is because of what you did. That's all. I'm much more polite in the mornings and overall to most other people, just not the ones who have a very uncouth introduction. And then he'll just walk out of the room and very quietly close the door.
Then Xulen's just gonna sit down on his bed trying to process all this, because that name that he saw on the other note is gonna be pretty jarring for him.
Alright. As Uricius kind of makes his way downstairs, you see all the other members have already been kind of served breakfast and everything.
And Hugo walked downstairs with his hair freshly brushed, glistening in the bright morning sun.
Okay.
And Sawyer will see when Sawyer sees him. How you feeling?
I'm feeling bad, but I look great.
Well, there'll be a first for everything one day.
Jocelyn's coffee here should perk you right up.
Oh yes, I'm sure it will. Jocelyn, babe, give me one of your specials over here, please.
You call me babe one more time, I'm gonna have my girls kick your ass.
Oh, please
And
do.
then
I'd love to
she
see this.
slides you over a drink.
Thanks, babe.
Sawyer just face palms very deeply.
Hugo, you better tip the girls well. I'm expecting at least a gold today.
Oh, I always tip them well. You know this. And he gives her a little wink.
Uricius will look Jocelyn straight in the face and go, "How much do I have to give you to beat him up?"
That pretty boy makes a lot of money.
I know, but if you avoid the face, like, let's talk logistics here. If you avoid the face, he'll still make you a lot of money.
That pretty boy not only brings in a lot of the girls, but also pays a lot for the girls. So unless you're about to start paying his tab, then, you know.
Nah, I'm no lord. But damn, I wish I was in this instance.
Well, lords don't eat porridge and bread, as she kind of slides you a bowl.
That they don't, but they also don't appreciate the small things in life, and he'll start eating.
Alright, what you doing?
Okay. So Kitty's gonna wake up finally. What time is it? Is this like early morning still?
Not really early morning. You've definitely slept in at least probably like an hour longer than everybody else.
Okay. She's gonna remember this weird dream about the apple, and she's gonna go check her bag to see if it's still there.
Yeah, Apple's there.
Okay. Kitty's gonna get dressed. She's gonna throw on a couple layers, put on a morning shawl, and how much does she remember about last night? Does she remember talking to Uricius outside?
Yeah, but you're like unsure if it's like part of that weird dream you had or if that was like actually last night. Like it's all kind of a big blur at this point.
Okay. Does she remember Uricius talking about that guy she was looking for, the the guy from the Estebar Islands?
To some extent, yeah.
To some extent, okay.
If that was Uricius last night or in your dream or what, but yes, you remember whatever form of Uricius this was saying it.
Okay. she also remembers him going out to go look for Gob, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Kitty is going to go downstairs. She doesn't bring her instrument with her today.
Mhm.
She probably looks pretty tired. She brushes her hair, but you know. Good morning, Sawyer.
Jocelyn kind of
Go humperdinck.
Jocelyn immediately like pours up a bowl of porridge for you and some bread. Hon, you look like a wreck.
Daisy wags her tail and perks up at the sight of it.
Oh, yeah, I kind of feel like a wreck. I'm not sure what happened last night. Do I see Daisy? I probably see Daisy. Oh, hi Daisy. Good morning.
She does that kind of wiggle thing and trots over, says hello, and then trots back to Sawyer Sawyer's given Daisy his bread, so she keeps eating after saying.
All right.
Is Uricius here? Can I see Uricius? Is Uricius sitting alone?
He'd be at the bar probably with Sawyer and the rest of them.
Okay. He is going to sit down next to Uricius and kind of look at him a bit funny.
Is there something on my face?
I just have a few questions about last night. What languages do you speak?
Uricius will go, like, his face will light up and he'll get very excited. Oh, I haven't been able to talk to people about educational things in so long. I'm so glad you asked. So I, myself, speak quite a few languages. I speak Abyssal, Celestial, Common, Draconic.
Perfect.
Elvish.
She's gonna start speaking in Abyssal.
Oh.
Okay.
There's
about
a
last night.
lot of kind of wide eyes and kind of everybody almost turns at you as you start talking in this growlish, barking like language.
Uricius
Hugo
will
like
kind of wave at
instinctively reaches down for his rapier as you start talking like this.
Oh, Uricius will wave at Hugo and go, "Oh, stop! That's Abyssal, you uncultured swine! Just eat your food and relax." And I'm so sorry for the
Jocelyn
rest
kind of
you.
like shouts across like the entire tavern. We don't do anything like that around here. Take it outside.
Sorry, ma'am.
Oh,
Sorry.
Here. Oh, what other languages do you speak? Elvish?
I do speak Elvish fluently.
So does Sawyer.
Oh. Oh, that.
Well, Kiddy
Yeah.
Lynd that.
Oh, that's fair.
All right.
I thought I was muted. Sorry.
No, but
me talking
that's-
myself.
Oh, no. So Kitty's gonna start speaking Elvish. Uricius, do you remember anything about last night? You went out to get Gob, right? Gob ran away again?
No, Gob was in her room all night, and so was I.
Oh. Okay.
Sawyer's going real quiet.
You remember talking to Jocelyn about giving me this
No.
apple, right?
I went straight to my room and I never came out. Are you feeling okay? Wait,
Jocelyn
did
said
you
that
take out the apple to show Uricius?
probably she probably took it down with her.
Uricius
Yeah.
will gesture for the apple and go, Can I see this real quick?
Yeah, of course. Jocelyn said you ordered some fruit for me last night.
I didn't. I was in my room all night, but Evan, I'm gonna use detect magic on this apple.
Looks normal. And in fact, it looks like a real apple to you.
He's gonna look at Kitty and go, "What does this look like to you?"
It looks fake to me, right?
Yeah.
It looks like something you use in a play.
Uricius is gonna
It doesn't look real.
Uricius is going to be very visibly confused and immediately go, "This to me looks real. I did not leave my room last night. I went straight to bed and slept like a rock. Gob did not leave her room last night because I would have heard her clawing at the door like a little maniac. So, what did you see? What happened? Because this just looks like something I could take a bite out of and enjoy."
Quick question. With my heightened hearing, would I have heard them speaking Abyssal downstairs?
No, Elvish.
No,
Well,
whenever
first
they
was
started
Abyssal.
Abyssal, yes. Yeah, it was a brief, small conversation like, "Oh, you speak this?" And then immediately you just heard Jocelyn like yelling to take it outside.
Would I have heard that with my heightened hearing?
Yeah, you would hear that no problem.
I would probably be coming downstairs for that as an immediate investigation.
Okay.
You
Normal
kind of like
Elvish.
walk down in like the middle of their having a conversation about the apple.
Yeah, but you wouldn't. Do you speak Elvish?
No.
Then you wouldn't have any idea what's
No, I'm
happening.
just
Well, you guys are kind of gesturing with an apple right now. Yeah.
With an apple.
You're gesturing an apple right now.
Yeah.
How does the apple look to Sawyer?
It looks normal to all of you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
How would I have gotten this apple last night if you weren't the one that gave it to me?
Are you 100% sure that who you saw was me? Like, you're sure that this was a glowing man?
Am I 100% sure?
You're still possible it's a dream. It's still all one big blur to you.
I'm not entirely sure. I'd say I was questioning whether this was even real, but then I remembered the apple and I was looking for it, and I have it.
Uricius
Some of it must be real.
will turn to Sawyer and show him the apple, and still in Elvish go, "This looks like a regular apple to you, right?"
Sawyer
Oh.
takes it and inspects it. And replies in Elvish, "Yeah, this looks like an apple to me." He's tempted. I'm
Uricius is just gonna put the apple in his bag and go, "You're not getting this apple, specifically because I don't like what you see. And it's not that I don't trust you, I don't trust it."
And there stands a very confused Xulen wondering why they're speaking Elvish and very passionately about an apple.
He doesn't look at you guys. It's an apple, right?
Yeah, Hugo,
Give
don't
it
worry.
to me.
No, Hugo, no.
Uh,
Hugo,
That's
Uricius
bad.
I love apples.
Uricius is gonna pull shit out of his ass and immediately go, "This apple has been enchanted. You don't want to eat this. Like, you might have some nasty side effects. You don't want this, Hugo. It's not worth it.
can go.
Why would you think that? It's an apple.
It's enchanted. You know I can detect magic. You don't want to
Yeah.
risk eating enchanted things. There's been tales of people who losing their stomachs. Don't try. You don't want this apple. You don't want it."
Can go. Try to
Evan.
the apple.
Evan, real quick.
Yeah.
With Sawyer having kind of eavesdropped on their conversation in Elvish, would this sound familiar, like any of the antics of the Fae that Sawyer would be familiar with from the Crimson Grove?
You've heard of Fae using illusion magic, but like whenever Uricius did detect magic, nothing.
Okay.
Gob does not understand most of the words that are being said here. She sees an apple being waved about, though, so she's going to try to grab it because it looks good.
All right, you can do a sleight of hand check.
I'm good at those. Now watch me drink to myself.
Oh no.
Oh.
It's going to be easier to do it if you're obvious. If you're going to do it stealthy, it's going to be harder.
Oh no, she's just trying to outright grab it.
Okay.
That is a 9.
Yeah, no. With your height and everything, you're automatically at a kind of disadvantaged situation. But you kind of take a yip at it, and then Uricius just kind of catches on.
Uricius is gonna break off a piece of bread, give it to Gob, and go, "Have this instead."
She ignores the bread. She wants the apple. She keeps trying to grab at it.
Uricius will look
Gob.
at Jocelyn and go, "Do you have any fruit?"
You've got an apple?
No, I'm talking about something different. There's something weird about this one. Do you got something else?
I got a couple more apples.
Cool.
Kid Gob, try to
But
grab it
can you
again.
give one to the goblin, please? I'll pay for it.
His apples look different.
Yep,
Can
they
you
all
try
look
to-
fake.
I don't think we should be giving out these apples. That one looks fake too.
She's tossed one over to Gob. Just as
Oh.
you're kind of having this conversation.
She wants that specific apple.
The Jocelyn kind of like tosses it to you because she's noticed that you've been like catching food a lot, but you just completely ignore it and just thump against the ground and just rolls across the tavern.
Her cat will go and get it and like whisk it away. But she is still trying to grab that specific apple.
So you're telling me this looks fake?
They all look fake. This is really weird.
Hugo's gonna
okay.
go. Hugo's gonna go grab that apple that was thrown and pick it up and like polish it off.
Okay.
The cat will get angry and hiss at you when you do
That's
that.
fine. Uricius is
I'll pat
gonna
her on
turn
the
to
head.
Hugo and go, "Hey,
It's your
take a bite out of that. A real nice juicy one."
Sure. I mean, it's just an apple,
Subject.
and he's gonna just take a nice big bite out of it.
Make a DC 18 Constitution saving throw.
The cat did bite his hand as he like took the as he pat the head of the cat.
Okay.
That
Oh,
is
no.
18 exactly. I rolled 17 plus
Jesus.
1.
Okay. Yeah. Cat, like, you kind of look at Hugo taking a bite out of it, and you kind of blink, and for a brief moment, you see kind of spider legs like the night before, and then you kind of, like, blink and try to, like, regain your vision again, and then it's just gone. It looks like a normal apple.
Does it
Could
taste
I
like a normal
roll?
apple to me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep eating it.
Okay.
While Uricius is distracted, can Gob try to grab the apple again?
Uricius is holding it above.
Yeah,
Like,
Uricius is kind of
like-
onto the tactics you'd be doing at disadvantage.
Can Gob climb up Uricius and to steal the apple?
I would still say you're at disadvantage trying to get the apple itself.
Okay,
He's
Sawyer
going
is
to-
kind of
let's go.
so Sawyer's kind of watching all this, and
Let's go.
he turns to Kitty and said, "Did you go out at all last night? Like, you mentioned seeing Uricius out there. You leave your room last night?"
I felt.
Yes, I did. I didn't want to tell any of you because it was kind of my own business. But it seems to be a larger issue if these apples are all very odd. And would I be able to discern if these spider legs were like an illusion or if these were like a tangible, real thing?
At this point, you're honestly not sure. You think you're going a little bit insane with the fake apples.
You know what?
Wow.
Wow.
It's getting to the point where you're considering if you know what a real apple looks like.
Uricius is gonna look at Gob, and in the middle of her trying to do this, he's gonna take a bite of the apple.
Okay. Also, DC 18. Oh, wait, no. Oh, DC 20 Constitution saving throw.
20? Okay.
Gob will scream.
Ugh. Oh.
Jesus Christ, I pass.
It's just a
What?
scream of pure rage.
Yeah, tastes like a normal apple to you.
Uricius will go to Jocelyn. I'm gonna finish this one off, but can you give me another one? I really think that there's something off. I believe Kitty. I haven't seen a person this crazy in a while.
So,
And if she is losing it, don't worry, I'll take care of it. I'll do some healing magic. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, she tosses you another apple.
He's gonna
Yeah,
take a
at
bite
this
of that
point-
apple.
DC 16 Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, at this while Uricius is doing all this,
Mhm.
Sawyer's going to keep talking to Kiddy, and I'm not interested in knowing what and I'm not trying to get into your business or your business or anything.
Mhm.
I just know that with all the fog that was around last night, sometimes the Fae do try to play tricks on people. Like I know Fae sometimes cast weird illusions on
Mhm.
things. I haven't I haven't, I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but but that may be a possibility.
So I didn't pass, thank God.
Okay. Kak, as you kind of see Uricius be like, yeah, bring on another apple and take a bite out of it. The piece that he bites out, you full on see it kind of turn into this like mossy spider and almost crawl its way inside of Uricius.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Kitty is going to try and scare Uricius out of eating more of this apple by kind of yelling out in Abyssal, Uricius, you need to stop! I don't think
Jocelyn
what I
in the
see is
middle of conversation with Sawyer is like, take it outside. I told you that last time. No more.
That apple is... Your apples are... It's wrong. There's something in there. We need to stop serving everyone those apples.
Uricius will stop. Will he know that something's wrong?
No, it tastes like an apple.
Uricius is just gonna sit there and go, you saw something different that time, and I believe you. What did you see?
There was this spider mossy thing coming from the apple, like the piece that you bit.
Okay, and you said you went out last night?
Yes.
Uricius is gonna look at Sawyer. I don't care what just happened to me. We're going into the Crimson Forest today.
Fine by me. We promised that we'd find the what was his name?
We're gonna find the Elves man, but we need to be on our guard because I think this might have something to do with that woman we met last night. I have no idea. I could be wrong, but her disappearing, and then suddenly, because Kitty went out last night, she's seeing all these crazy things, and no one can see what she's seeing. So either someone has used something on her, some sort of magic, and is just messing with her, or this is serious. I'm betting this is serious considering we were attacked by blink dogs.
Or could she just need
Sawyer.
Committing?
Yeah, Sawyer nods.
Just need committing. Put her in the mental institute. Clearly she's crazy.
Hugo, I don't want to hear another word from you, and if I do, I will paralyze you.
I'm just saying.
So, all right. So Sawyer definitely nods and said, with the fog acting up and the hag showing up, I do believe this may all be connected. I know what the grove's like. The grove like the back of my hand. So if we're all going in there, y'all stay close. Don't go wandering off. Don't follow any voices you hear. Weather can get kind of weird. So just stay close.
Xulen is hearing all this talk and seeing all these people focusing on apples and just turns to Jocelyn. Got anything with meat on the menu?
Sorry, we don't really serve it around here that often. It's kind of hard to come by. We have some fish.
That'll do.
Uricius will look at Xulen and go, you're welcome to come with us. We're going into the Crimson Grove. I don't know how much of that you understood since it was a mix of Common and Elvish. But if you don't want to come with, fine by me. Either way, we're leaving in the next 10. And Hugo, you have no say in this. You get to hunt, just not what you want to hunt.
I go to the Grove all the time. There's nothing wrong there. I hunt there, weekly.
Xulen's eyes give a quick, glance to Hugo and goes, "Yeah, I believe I owe you guys a favor. I'll come along, see if I can help."
Sounds good to me. Eat up as much as you can without giving yourself indigestion, and we'll leave in 10. Thank you, Jocelyn, for your service, and I am very sorry that we were speaking in Abyssal. I'll try not to startle your customers.
Very sorry. Yeah, we're very sorry. sorry. Again.
And Uricius will give her like 2 gold, just as an apology.
Okay. You get a pretty slow and methodical head nod of confusion, but she's not complaining.
Gob goes and puts a button on the counter as well. It's a green button.
That one she's a little bit more confused about, but still kind of looking at the gold pieces.
Uricius will kind of just a half decimal under like normal tone go, it means she likes you, just take it.
Gob sees the confusion and puts 2 more buttons up there, a white one and a yellow one.
She just gives a very big awkward smile and a nod to Uricius and takes the buttons.
Gob thinks she's nodding at her and nods back promptly and walks away out the door with her cat.
Okay.
Wait, Gob, no, wait, food, Gob. And Uricius will show her another piece of bread.
It's too late. She's already gone.
Okay.
I don't know.
You lost
if
your
I
goblin
feel like
again.
leaving now.
It's fine, she'll come back. She's not running from anyone this time.
Gob is going button hunting.
Uricius, I do you know anything about do you know anything about Fae? And they wouldn't know it. Could they read your mind? I don't know anything about Fae. Does Kiddy know anything about Fae? They're not are they really a thing in the Cloth Basin?
Not really on the clock. I mean, there is a forest pretty close to you. I'm forgetting what it is called. Give me 1 second. I always forget what it is. It's the Fallen Star Forest. It's kind of like a burned down wasteland forest, but there's definitely been some sightings of Fae-like creatures.
Are there any rumors about them reading minds or knowing what your thoughts are?
General trickery stuff like that. Yeah, that's pretty up their alley.
Okay.
Evan, with Uricius's reading and constant study, how much would he have know about similar situations?
This situation where one person sees it and no one else sees it? Nothing at all. You've never heard of this.
Okay.
Okay.
And before we continue the next part, I'm going to go ahead and call a break here. So everybody, go get some water, use the restroom, everything like that, and we will be back in a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody, from the break. Yeah, I guess we can just kind of hop back into it. Sorry, I am flustered. Where did we just leave off? You guys were all about to head out, right?
Yeah, we were going to
Okay.
head into the Crimson Grove.
Okay.
Asking Uricius about questions about the Fae, like what they knew, like could they read minds?
Uricius knows about as much as you do, and at least for this situation, he'll just tell you, yeah, Fae will do a lot of trickery and whatnot, but never heard of a situation where a Fae will use illusion magic or whatever, where only one person can see something for what it is and everyone else can't.
So, if I did go out last night and this person that talked to me, who's probably not you, they knew about why I was here and what I was looking for, and it makes me very concerned.
There are creatures that could possibly read your mind, but it's more likely to be Fae, and I don't know much about those areas. You'd be better off asking Sawyer for these things.
Yeah, in my experience, the Fae, I haven't heard of anything where only one person is seeing things when something to do with the Fae. The Fae can read minds. The Fae can do do some trickery. But generally, with the Fae around here, if you don't bug them, they don't bug you. So we'll get to the bottom of this. And he starts leading the others towards the forest.
How are you planning to go into the Crimson Grove? Are you planning to just walk into the forest that's kind of bumping up against the town? Are you gonna kind of take the long way and go down the main road and kind of follow the path through the Crimson Grove?
Uricius is going to encourage that we go straight into the forest, since that's probably where the elf would have gone rather than the main road if he just walked in like the other elves were saying. And he's going to encourage people to like grab onto a bit of each other, not necessarily hold hands and sing Kumbaya, but just hold something to not only ground yourself, but to make sure that person is there.
I mean, Xulen will be advertising a more cautious approach through a main road.
Yeah, I will say the main road for you to kind of do the giant bend and go down into it. It's gonna be a couple days kind of journey to get up to the main road that leads to the Crimson Grove.
Okay, yeah,
He was gonna. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Sawyer's gonna say, so long as y'all stay close to me, should be fine. I've been working through these woods every year for about 40 years. I know these woods like the back of my hand. And he's going to lead them directly into the woods.
Yeah, I go hunting in this way all the time. It won't even be a problem.
Oh, if you say so.
Sawyer growls.
Hag in the woods. I think we should be a bit more careful. This isn't some regular hunting trip. Kitty's gonna stick by Sawyer.
Uricius is gonna look at Kitty and go, I understand the sentiment, but the fastest way and probably the most efficient way to go about this is to just go straight into the forest. So hopefully things will be okay and we'll manage to keep her safe.
Hugo's gonna look over at Kitty and say, if you're worried about mind control, just keep me in the front of your mind. You'll be immune.
Yeah, you'll scare him away.
Did they collect Gob
Hi.
before heading out? Because Gob went to go get buttons.
Oh, Uricius
Hugo
would have
wouldn't want
collected
to.
Gob.
But before leaving the tavern inn, Hugo's going to pull Xulen to a side and just kind of like whisper, don't say anything before leaving.
He's just going to give a very, very small nod, like barely able to register it.
Okay. So this is a general point of how I address kind of like travel and exploration. When the group is kind of traveling all together, if they are going at a normal pace, generally my thing is that I say 2 people are kind of like the main kind of lookouts based off the area. I think like Sawyer, for example, like makes a lot of sense to be one of the 2. Either both of those people can roll perception checks for like a general along the journey I'm looking around for things, or one person can help the other and give them advantage on the roll, and then those perception checks kind of are your like lookout for the majority of the journey. I do this both in terms of like exploration of what you guys are doing right now, or also kind of like longer journeys if you're in like a cart or something.
Okay. Yeah, that works. Yeah, and I definitely agree that Sawyer should probably be at the forefront of this place since he knows the forest very well.
Uricius would be helping and giving advantage. I don't think he would make a lot of sense to do the main bulk of it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me 2 perception checks with Sawyer.
All right.
20. Nice.
Sweet. Yeah, I get a +4 to perception, so.
Yeah, the main kind of Crimson Grove that butts up against Grimesport, it's fairly thickly settled, particularly around the Grimes estate. Like the trees are very, very kind of thickly settled around there. But once you kind of push through this initial kind of thicket of woods, it opens up a little bit more. And what are you guys do? Are you just kind of like walking along the shore? Are you walking just straight into the forest past the town, or?
I'd imagine straight into the forest.
Yes. and Sawyer's keeping an eye out for any signs of the basically of any fey activity or any signs of people besides the townsfolk passing through, or any signs of the elf that's missing.
Okay. As you're kind of walking ahead, generally there's no settled paths or anything. You don't see anything that's been normally used. Xulen can kind of like sniff out a couple good trails that you think are just like general animal trails. However, nothing in general like really stands out. But the further that you begin to realize this, that the further you walk into the Crimson Grove, as these kind of fallish looking leaves are all kind of slowly dwindling from the trees and making pile leaves throughout the ground, this kind of bright orangish red color that is making up a majority of the landscape. Over time, the colors are becoming less and less saturated. As you kind of walk deeper and deeper, you realize that almost everything is becoming this subtle shade of gray. And all of you, as you kind of go on, you think it's kind of, you're just on edge initially because like it's a weird situation and everything, but you get this weird feeling of the kind of negative emotions, almost like existential dread is just like in the back of your head, and it's like talking up a bit more than normal.
As we talk, Hugo is proclaiming very loudly about his previous hunts. When he passes a landmark, I'll kind of point it out, be like, oh yes, here I felled a mighty stag. I took its antlers and they still adorn my mantle to this day. Or here I trapped a mighty bear. And so on and so forth. Possibly just to rile up Sawyer.
Sawyer is...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, it's okay, go ahead, you start first.
For every landmark that he points out, Gob goes and puts a button on it.
Yeah, Sawyer
There's probably already buttons on the landmarks from previous times.
Yeah, Sawyer is doing his best to keep his head on straight, and he's getting very visibly annoyed with this, and so he just kind of turns to Humperdinck and decides to change the subject. He's like, so, you said the Humperdinks have a lot of business around here. What's the Humperdinck family been up to? It's like, what kind of business have they been?
Expanding our influence. We've been getting really into security recently. That's been our latest thing. So,
I see. Is it just your immediate family, or do you have aunts and uncles getting in on this as well?
Oh yeah, the whole family. Everybody is getting in on it. Even like my niece, who's 5, she's in on it.
Hugo.
Okay, Sawyer just kind of stops for a second. What? That's far too easy.
She's a prodigy. Our entire family is talented and skilled at what we do, whatever
Hugo.
we decide to do. Yes.
Any names I might recognize if everyone's so talented?
Oh yeah, we've got Margaret and Tom.
Uricius is just gonna pat Hugo on the shoulder and go, whatever you say, buddy. Good job. Good job. And just kind of nudge Sawyer and just let's drop it.
Sawyer drops it for now.
As you guys kind of continue deeper into the woods, almost kind of out of the blue, especially during like these small conversations happening and everything, the scenery just changes. The kind of reddish fall colored leaves are now all kind of gone. Some are kind of wilted and decayed. The trees themselves dead, or it's way less settled than it was prior. You see various kind of ponds of water, which is a little bit weird. Crimson Grove really doesn't have a lot of ponds or anything like that. And then as you kind of continue on, you come across this small little, like, it looks kind of like a rundown house. That's from afar, and then you kind of get closer to it, and there's this little land bridge across these kind of green ponds, which in them they kind of see bubbling and oozing, and you can see various kind of skeletons or like humanoids just kind of floating in them face down, very obviously dead. But along this land bridge you see these mossy, almost zombie-like, but parts of them you see like exposed rib cages and stuff, but instead of seeing like an open wound or something, you see kind of like moss and leaves that have kind of grown over it. And they're standing almost perfectly still as if statues. However, even though you're kind of settled behind a bush and everything, they all just turn their head towards you. Not moving their bodies, just their heads.
Going to whisper to Sawyer. You've been in the Crimson Grove before. Are these normal?
Yeah, Evan, is this normal?
No.
No. Yeah, Sawyer. Sawyer looks very shaken, especially seeing the forest and the state that around him that it's in. You know, he just silently he shakes his head and he grips his staff a little closer to Daisy, walks closer to, kind of hugs against the back of his leg a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
These moss skeletons.
This is not.
What'd you say, Kek?
What?
I was interrupting Sawyer.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
No, it's fine. I was just interrupting you. I was gonna ask. These moss skeletons, do they look anything like the spider moss apple things? I mean, that connection that they're connected.
Yeah, somewhat. You could definitely kind of conclude that. They both look like weird monstrosities.
Hey, Evan.
Mm-hmm.
Do they look similar to the hag from the night before?
No.
Okay.
These look mostly kind of like humans and elves, but they've been kind of decomposed and their skin has rotten and the vines and kind of moss is kind of just overtaking them, and in a lot of ways they're indistinguishable with who they were prior.
With my Hunter's Bane training, would I have even an idea of what we're looking at?
Remind me what Hunter's Bane does?
Do you want me to just get so I can get an exact definition? Find your darkness, honing your sense of it. You have an advantage on wisdom checks to track Fae, fiends, and undead, and intelligence abilities to recall information about them as well.
Trying to think. Give me a history check. Or nature, whatever you have higher.
22 with that advantage.
Alright. Yeah, as you kind of think about it a little bit longer, this is definitely kind of work of like a dryad or something like that. Like typically you've only seen this happen when like a forest is like burned down and the dryad goes like on a rampage, or if there's like a town that is just kind of encroaching on the forest and the dryad really doesn't want that happening. But generally some kind of greater fae is the result of these they're these zombie like creatures, kind of a mixture in between like a Trent and a ghoul.
Interesting.
However, you've never seen them this docile before. Typically these are like bloodthirsty, have like the scent of like a wild animal, and will like bolt at you the second they get a whiff of you.
This is unnerving, to say the least.
Do you recognize these things? Sawyer asks him.
Not specifically, but I've heard about them. And what I do know is they should be much more aggressive than how they're behaving. It's definitely the work of some powerful fae.
Right. When Xulen says it's the work of some powerful fae, Sawyer's eyebrows raise a little bit, and he decides to speak in Sylvan for a moment, and in the direction, and he asks and he says to the skeletons, "We come in peace. We mean no harm." To in Sylvan, do they seem to understand?
No response. Just kind of this long gaze from these kind of almost sapphire blue eyes, just looking at you.
Uricius is gonna nudge Sawyer and say, maybe we should try stepping closer. Just
Yeah, Sawyer agrees, and he looks around at everybody, but very especially Humperdinck. It's like, let me do the talking.
Okay.
And he stares pointedly at Humperdinck for a minute, like, beesh.
Humperdinck will kind of shrug, take his shield down, but cross his arms and kind of like look back and watch what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Sawyer very slowly and cautiously approaches the skeletons.
Okay. Sorry, give me 1 second. I don't think I set this token up that way. Xulen can control it. There's Yorkee. There he goes. There you go. Now you can move it. Sorry, which one are you gonna approach? As there's kind of 6 of them lined up on this kind of land bridge across this bubbling, oozing water.
He's going to approach this one.
First one on the left?
Yeah,
Okay.
that one.
You notice that as you kind of get closer, that one in particular kind of separates its gaze from the rest of the group and just follows you.
Gotcha. Let's see, and he's going to try to speak in Sylvan again, since remembering that Xulen just said that this was the work of somebody else. He said, "Where is your master?"
No response from them.
No response. Okay.
Gob is gonna walk up to the things, and she is gonna poke it.
Okay. Which one are you gonna go up and poke?
Whichever is closest.
Well, you have to the left where Sawyer is currently, or to the right where no one else is.
Where Sawyer is.
Alright.
Because at least Sawyer can protect her if need be.
First one of the 3 over on the left. You just kind of go up and poke it. Yeah, you kind of like poke a mossy bit, and like the moss kind of imprints a little bit, but nothing really happens. You get a little bit of kind of like this gross kind of green stuff on your fingers, but nothing bad.
Sticks a button in it. In the indent.
Yeah,
and she nods to herself.
It kind of sticks there if you kind of like remove your finger. Almost as if like the moss is like hugging it.
She seems proud.
Okay.
Sawyer gently pats her head.
Uricius is gonna start walking past the first 2 and see what happens.
Yeah, as you kind of walk them past, all of them kind of turn their gaze towards you. However, still just kind of statue-like except their head.
Huh. So, Uricius is gonna motion to Sawyer and go, I'm gonna walk ahead to the house. If something happens, assume I'm either dead or that I'm savable. The safe assumption is dead. We will see what happens. And he's gonna walk towards the house.
Do you want some backup?
Nope. I want
Gob
you
follows.
when you're useful.
Gob follows and tries to catch up with you and hold on to your hand and walk with you.
Oh. Knowing he cannot get rid of her, he will hold her hand.
As
she looks very pleased.
as Gob and Uricius kind of walk past all the 3 rows of zombies, they all kind of turn their head and watch them as they walk by. However, after they probably get like 15 feet or so away, they just kind of snap back to the rest of the group. Almost in like a jerking motion where you can kind of like hear the bones pop and various parts of like the tree branch and everything kind of snap whenever they immediately just whip their head back at you.
Okay.
Make some sort of Arcana check to see if there's some sort of telescope or lookout or something. If you on a radius of it.
What are you trying to figure out?
If something is watching us through them, if that makes any sense.
Like, watching you through... Oh, yeah, you can... Sure, you can do an Arcana check for that. Or investigation, whatever you hire.
Okay.
You're saying like almost as if it's like a familiar, like someone seeing through its eyes?
Yeah.
Okay. Da, 16. You get the general vibe that they're probably enchanted or something like that, but it doesn't really seem as if like they're a lookout or something like that. If anything, it seems almost as if like their main body is kind of like enchanted to just stand upright in place.
Okay.
Sawyer is going to slowly follow Uricius and God, motion for the others to come with them, but to tread carefully.
Xulen would probably begin following.
Okay.
So
Same thing before. Same thing as before. As each one of you kind of goes further down the line, all the zombies kind of follow you, and then you get a little bit away, and they just snap back to whoever's at the start of the line again.
So can we
Hugo
get
looks
better...
over at Kitty. It's just you and me now.
God.
Oh no.
Poor kitty. Poor
Kitty is
kitty.
going to recoil. And,
Are Hugo and Kitty just gonna hang out there?
No, she was gonna follow after Sawyer.
Okay. So Hugo is left behind.
Oh, jeez.
Can we get a better description of that house?
Run down. It looks like a pretty like upscale kind of cavern in the woods sort of deal. However, it's obviously kind of seen the kind of war of age. Various kind of bricks and shingles are hanging off. You can see that there's kind of like a giant hole in the roof as if something kind of like fell through it, or it like rotted through and it just kind of collapsed. That kind of has smashed down like one wall over to the left side, and various parts of kind of the walls and everything are kind of falling off. Boards and such are also, they're holding on, but just barely. You can see nails kind of on like the teeniest amount still in the wood, and they could fall at any moment. The entire house, just like from your kind of glance from a distance, just looks like it's about to fall down at any point.
Are there any shinies?
Around it?
Yes.
Are you gonna like start circling the house, go inside of it?
She is gonna go inside looking for shinies.
Ursus will also go in just to see what's
Through-
there.
Are you guys gonna go in through the door or the hole in the side?
Ursus is gonna try the door, see how that goes.
You kind of like shake it, it's locked. Like you could rip it off the hinges if you wanted to. It's so kind of broken at this point, but
He's not going to. He'll go through the hole in the wall. Just not draw too much attention to himself.
as you kind of turn around the corner, can everybody that's so I guess that's Uricius and Gob right now, can you both roll stealth checks?
Oh no.
Stealth, you said?
Yes, indeed.
So got a 13.
Uricius got 11.
Okay. Okay. As you kind of turn the corner and just kind of peer inside, you hear the voice that you kind of heard earlier, the hag. No, it'll be all right, I tell you. As she's kind of holding this humanoid of some sort in this kind of dark gray, almost black armor. However, the figure, it has this weird kind of almost mirage effect around it, like shadowy edges that kind of ebb and flow, and almost like bits of its existence kind of merge into the shadow, then just kind of come back. But she's just holding him around her. You can see like 4 or 5 different potions kind of laid out on the floor. Empty bottles are kind of scattered throughout the house, but she seems like she's giving very much attention to the night at this point and doesn't really see you guys. It'll be okay. I'll get more in the morning. More souls. You'll survive, I'll tell you.
Gob wants to give this lady a button.
No.
No. Oh, this is so bad.
How do you just like walk up with it a button? Do you say something? I'm going to move Uricius and Gob.
Can she can see the lady, right? The
Yeah,
hag?
yeah, you can see. Like you guys, I imagine, are just kind of like slightly peering around the corner.
She is going to slingshot the button at the ground in front of the hag.
Okay. Make an attack roll for how accurate you are.
Oh,
We send
no.
the talkers in first.
Oh no!
You
That's
guys,
a natural one!
you guys say I'm going to kill you. I'm just pointing this out. This isn't me.
This is
Oh
good.
no.
As you kind of slingshot the button, you almost like you load it up and you pull back the slingshot, but it's like those times where you fail loading a slingshot and instead of kind of like firing ahead, it just fires straight down at the ground because you just don't know. You just had a moment of like a muscle spasm almost and it didn't work. As it kind of hits the ground, it clings against the stone. And everybody, roll initiative.
To be fair, it was a really pretty button. It was a really pretty green button with like a really nice marble effect on it. She thought it looked like her skin.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
gonna kill you at some point.
She was trying to do something nice.
She was doing her best.
Uricius
She's
got-
doing her best.
Hugo is all the way
Okay,
back
rolling
there.
initiative.
I'm sorry.
I was looking at the tokens and I'm just like, wait, where's Hugo? I'm just like, oh yeah, past the zombies.
I wasn't trying to do this. I was just trying to give her a button.
You guys all have your numbers up by the side. You should be able to edit it. That's Xulen.
It didn't save. Why is
Well,
it
yeah,
not
if someone puts in one at the same time of you and then hit enters, it updates the whole list and we'll kind of delete what you ever put.
No.
It's gonna hurt a lot.
I'm really sorry. I wasn't
I'm
expecting
gonna kill you.
Please do not.
What
One.
the goblin I
This
came
lady's-
for be the goblin I'm going for.
To be fair, this lady will most likely kill Gob before you can. Unless Gob dragon breaths her like 6 times. I just realized Gob can technically dragon breath 12 times. Because the spell lasts for a minute. And she can use it as many times as she wants as an action in that minute. And she has 2 pack slots.
Nice.
For
It's
Gob.
broken.
Oh no.
For Gob.
So
Sorry.
as Gob kind of fires the button, the hag kind of creaks her head towards you again, kind of that mingling of flesh and bone creaking as her eerie gaze kind of makes her way towards you. I'm sorry, honey, but I have to deal with these intruders. And at that moment, the knight is still kind of laying down in her lap, like springs to attention. And whenever he kind of gets up, like you see him kind of like trying to step up, but he's obviously very weak. No, I will defend you one more time. And with that, Hugo, you're up all the way in the distance.
Yeah, he has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So he's going to continue sitting there staring at these zombies. Staring at them.
Okay. Cool. Xulen.
Menacingly.
I would, with your keen perception, you've probably heard this.
Yeah. Do the zombies look like they've become more agitated?
Nope. Still statues.
I am going to bonus action go into Lycan mode.
Okay. As you kind of wolf out and take on more animalistic characteristics.
Yeah. I'm going to then get a little closer to the house, and I'm going to ready an attack action.
With a like sword if something comes within range?
Yeah, with the rapier.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
Sawyer, you probably didn't hear the kind of hag and mysterious knight kind of wake up, but you definitely just kind of saw like Xulen transform and get on edge and like run up to the house.
Yeah, Sawyer is going to. Was that an action or a bonus action? I'll check that real quick. Okay, yeah. So he's going to use his bonus action to cast to whisper to his staff, and it'll once again start glowing green as he casts Shillelagh.
Okay.
And he is going to follow Xulen.
You notice that as you cast Shillelagh, despite like your magical kind of druidic connection generally being like green in color, whenever you cast it this time, it's almost this fight between like this like light green magic energy and this dark shadowy magic.
Oh, Sawyer is going to be very taken aback by that, but nevertheless, he's going to grip his staff tighter as if that like exerts his will on it harder, and follows Xulen and also prepares his attack. Okay.
Then we kind of get to the Dark Knight figure who has been kind of held for this hag is now kind of hobbling himself up. He gets up from the prone position, and then he's immediately going to charge at Gob. But you and Uricius can tell right away that this guy is in rough shape. Like he is like limping over you to just like even remotely get to you, and then he's going to try to swing at you with a greatsword. 15 to hit.
Hit Gob?
Yes.
Yes, that hit.
All right. That is 9 points of slashing damage as he just takes this blade that he was almost dragging against the ground. He's running up with you, and then mysterious the blade, like it's not as if he actually moved it. It's almost as if the blade just like started floating and did its own thing, and it just took a slice at you. Then it kind of like swings back around and it's on the ground again.
Can I use Hellish Rebuke as a reaction?
Yeah, he hit you. Is it a dexterity saving throw?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Dex.
He got a 13. What was it?
Barely.
Okay. So what, that's half damage?
Yes, let me roll.
And that is Hellish Rebuke is fire, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no. I think I know. Oh no.
We don't know.
Let me just roll 2d10 in here. So that's 4 points of fire damage.
Okay. What does like Hellish Rebuke?
Wait, it's supposed to be I forgot it's supposed to be 3d10, my bad.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. So that is actually what?
8 points.
17 mine.
Or,
Yeah, 8.
yeah.
So for Gob, when this guy hits her, she kind of stumbles back a tiny bit, and automatically, as like she tenses and reaches her hand out, like with her claws extended, and mutters in her arcane language, and this black mixed with white fire bursts out onto him.
Nice. As you notice that it's this weird kind of hot and cold situation, like the kind of the black light almost will like overtake him, and like he doesn't really seem disturbed, and then kind of the white light comes back in and like attacks him, and you see him kind of like knock off guard again. It's a weird kind of battle of the magic on him. And then we go over to the hag. As she kind of sees the knight run away. No, they'll kill you. No, come. You again. And then she is going to point a finger at... Sorry, give me 1 second. She's going to point a finger at Gob. Kind of do a big kind of gesture as you kind of notice that this almost shadowy heart has appeared in her hand, and she's just gonna squeeze it and crush it. And then can God please make a DC 14 saving throw, wisdom.
That's a natural 1.
Oh no.
So that with wisdom, you said that's a natural 1. That's a 1.
Okay.
I'm just not rolling well tonight. I need to replace these dice. These dice need to go back to where I bought them.
At that moment, you kind of feel this, this wave of kind of lethargic energy just wash over you as you're just knocked out cold right on the ground.
Oh, I'm knocked out?
You're sleeping. But, like, automatically, like, Gob just kind of falls back and is just kind of snoozing off there.
Would that be, what would that be for condition? Unconscious?
Yeah, you would be technically unconscious.
Okay.
Alright, that happens, and then she is going to... not to the long side of the knight, look at Gob, and then kind of points at her kind of handiwork. That one's asleep. She's an easy target. Hit now. And with that, we go over to Kiddy.
Hey, Kitty's general position in all this commotion, like her position to the door, not the door, like the hole in the wall where Uricius and Gob are.
Mm-hmm.
Where is she? Like, how far away is she from Gob and Uricius?
Are you on Roll20?
I wasn't before, but I am now.
You are currently 40 feet away
I'm
from
so
Gob.
used to doing theater of the mind.
That's alright.
Okay, I'm 40 feet away from Gob.
You're,
Okay,
you're 35 feet away from Uricius.
Okay. Kitty's gonna look very startled as, does she hear noises from the cabin, inside the cabin?
Oh, from where you are, you can kind of see the hag standing over Gob's body. You don't really see the knight, though. He's still kind of tucked away behind the wall.
Oh, crap. Kitty's gonna get really freaked out, and she's going to quickly strum a tune on her theorbo and grant bardic inspiration to Xulen.
All right.
And
Cool,
then
cool.
for her action, let's see. she's going to cast Vicious Mockery on the hag to try and get their attention off of God.
Alright, what's the save on Vicious Mockery?
13 wisdom save.
Wisdom. She got an 18.
Well, she's not insulted.
As you see, again, even when you cast this spell as well, there's that moment of kind of your normal general like pinkish purple hue of magic. There's this interweaving of this shadowy abyssal kind of magic. It's very off-putting whenever you initially see it.
Abyssal magic, does that make kind of noise? Does it sound like anything?
It sounds as if it's like white noise whenever you see it kind of spiral around your own magical beam there. With that, it is Gob. Gob, you are fast asleep. With that, it is Uricius' turn.
So Uricius is just gonna kind of shove Gob behind him, if he can, to just kind of make himself a shield.
Yeah, if you want to do a athletics, a kind of pull or push, depending how you want to do this. But if you move Gob, currently the knight is going to be able to take an attack of opportunity.
That's okay. It's a 17.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to move Gob with no issue, but the knight is going to take a swing. Actually, just before he's about to, he like winds up the kind of great sword, kind of grinding against the stone, and then the hag kind of holds out a hand. No, stop! We don't do that yet. And yeah, you move Gob out of your way, and I'm just gonna say you kind of switch places.
So Uricius isn't going to attack. He's not going to use any spells. He's going to look kind of between both the hag and the knight as he's talking and go, "We are not here to hurt you. I don't care about my companion's intentions. I heard your conversation and I want to help. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I can see this guy here, he's in such rough shape. Please, let me help. I can try some of my magic to heal him. Please, I just want to be able to help. Just so you don't have to hurt people. Because there's gotta be a way around this."
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh.
Actually, no, I'll give you a normal roll with that. I think what you said was
if
right.
that's the case, I got a 21.
Okay. You almost see kind of her face twitch and her long nose kind of wiggle a little bit as like you can. Oh boy, Discord? Did that just happen for everybody?
Yeah, are we back?
Yeah.
What happened?
Okay, cool. Discord
I'm
just
glad
died
that's
for a
not just
second.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that
was my internet died.
Discord servers just had a massive issue.
Yeah, okay. So, her face twitches.
Yeah, her face is kind of twitching, and you notice various kind of parts of her like cheeks are getting like real tight, and you can tell that she's almost like grinding her teeth. You don't know magic here. This isn't your world.
I don't care if this isn't my world. I want to help. He's obviously suffering, and I don't want any creature to go through this kind of suffering. Humanoid, fae, animal, it doesn't matter. No one should have to go through this.
At that point, I would say she's going to try to kind of think about that. However, we're going to move on to Hugo's turn. Hugo, you've definitely seen everybody just kind of ready and start casting spells and everything, and from where you are, you can kind of see like the hag stepping out.
Alright. Do the zombies look active?
No, still statue like.
I don't trust these zombies. Alright.
I think that's generally good advice.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Hugo will draw his sword and run up to here. Not there.
I don't think you want to run up in between the zombies, probably. Okay, you're gonna run up right to Kiddy.
And yeah, that takes my entire action.
Okay.
And I'm just kind of gonna ready myself facing the zombies.
Okay. Sounds good. And with that, we'll go on to Xulen.
Oh boy.
Please tell
Did
me.
Xulen hear this little speech that my friend just made?
Yeah. You heard it. Your impression is that it's still a hag and a very demonic night there.
I'm going to, put my rapier in the holster. I'm going to pull out my claws. One of the claws, and I'm going to use my Rite of Lightning on it. So I'm going to lose 1d4, and my hand has lightning swirling around the claws.
Okay. Yeah, as you kind of grit your teeth a little bit, bite a little bit more, it's almost as if your blood just comes out a little bit, and then it just suddenly turns into this lightning energy that's surrounding your claws. But again, the faint kind of shadowy eminence coming off of it.
I'm going to park right there.
Okay.
I'm going to say, I suggest you take him up on his word, and I'm going to ready an action that if they try anything hostile, I'm going to attack the knight.
Define hostile.
If it looks like the knight takes a swing or the hag casts magic on anyone in the party.
Okay. And is that all for your turn?
That's it.
All right, we're on to Sawyer.
All right. So now Sawyer doesn't have super hearing. Was he able to hear this exchange as well?
Between Hugo running up, Kiddy casting music to do her spells and all that kind of stuff, I would say it's kind of like a general garble for you. All that you could really tell is that Uricius has kind of quickly got in between Gob and the enemies, and then you see Xulen kind of run up there and is definitely kind of in like a combat stance, but you notice that you didn't take a swing right away.
Okay. Sawyer is also going to approach. Let me move around Gob. He's going to stand back a little bit further than the other two, if that's a good spot to.
Yeah, you're kind of like underneath this decaying tree.
Okay.
It's like 10 feet away from the hag and the kind of knight there.
Okay. So he is going to hold his action as well. And he is going to address them. Speaking in Sylvan, having and ask what happened. What happened to you?
Okay. Yeah. Oh boy.
Would that be? Oh.
Give me a second. I need to think about this.
Okay.
Oh no.
I can rescind that if need be. I was just thinking because he's been trying to speak in Sylvan to the other things.
You're making him think this is dangerous.
Hold on, I need to do
no.
I need to do a roll.
Oh no, did I do a boo-boo? Oh no. Oh no.
All of my work.
As you kind of you begin talking in Sylvan, and as you start talking in Sylvan, the knight almost gets it's as if his body kind of is starting to like tremble. He's having a hard time like standing upright. And the hag kind of looks around. Which one of you did this? Yeah, and at this point the hag is going to, or the knight is gonna kind of fall prone on his knees, and you see him kind of begin to cough up some blood on the ground.
Oh god.
Nice.
Oh god.
No! I did the thing! I got
didn't-
that 20!
I didn't mean. Oh no, I didn't mean for this. Oh god. Yeah, Sawyer is like, oh god.
It's weird because it definitely, like, you know that you didn't do anything directly to it, but whenever you spoke the words, like, you just saw all energy just get sapped from this knight that's like was barely holding on as is.
Oh god. Sorry is again going to ask, but this time in common, what's happening?
He's dying because of you fools spoke the language.
Oh no.
And with that, he's going to make a death saving throw.
Whew.
My god.
It's his own fault.
Eh, maybe they deserve to die.
No.
I didn't mean he deserved to die. I meant it's his own fault for trying to attack us.
So he made a death saving throw, and then the hag is gonna kind of frantically look around at you all. I'm done with all of this. Feast on their souls. As she kind of takes her claws and digs up some of the dirt, and then she just kind of mushes it in between her hands and lets each individual grain kind of fall down to the ground as the zombies spring into action.
And with that, I am going to take my reaction attack on the knight who is prone on the ground.
No.
You said if the knight did anything hostile. The knight
I
did
said
not.
if the hag did anything with
She
magic.
did not technically cast a spell.
Oh, that wasn't a spell?
No,
Okay.
that was it was almost as if they had an innate connection and she was giving a command now.
Okay, I couldn't tell if that was some
Yeah,
spell.
no, that's my bad. They got an 11. Alright. Which is below all of you. Oh wait, no, it's up. Kitty or Gob, what's your dex mod?
Dex is +2.
+2. They also have +2. I'm going to say you go first.
I mean, wouldn't they go first right now? Because I'm knocked out.
That's true. Regardless, they're gonna get to move.
I sleep for once
All right.
in my
As
life.
she does that, you can tell she's more pissed off than ever. And then she is going to point a finger at Uricius, or at Sawyer. Sorry about that.
Oh, damn it. Hey, good. Try me. No.
This is my fault. Oh no.
Please make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
She's gonna whisper a few words in Draconic and do a few grand hand movements in your general direction. What you get? Ooh. You are under the frightened condition.
Shit.
So would that have triggered my reaction then?
Yes, that would be a spell. But give me just 1 second on that. You are in the frightened reaction, which means that you have to use your turn getting away from the monster. Any kind of attacks against the hag is going to be at disadvantage. And then you are going to take 4d10 psychic damage.
Oh.
10, 10, 7, 4. Was that 31?
Oh, I'm down.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I am in the. Like, how much damage was that again?
31?
31.
31. Yeah, I have 24 health. I am in the negatives.
Okay, but you're at 0. How 5e death works is that they you constantly go back up to 0 unless they can deal your total health in 1 turn, and then in which case you die. So yeah, you're at 0 and you're unconscious.
It's total health doubled, right?
What?
If
Is
it
it total
no,
health?
no. If it's the only time it's total health doubled is if you are at full health.
I was at full health.
Yeah, so that is the only way you would be instantly dead. So you're just
Okay.
at 0.
Yeah, you're
Okay. Okay. Thank.
so
fucking
you're
God.
on the ground making death saving throws.
Yes,
However, you're making those
yeah.
death saving throws at disadvantage.
Alright, can you make the death saving throws?
Oh
for
yeah,
me?
yeah. No,
Because
you told me about that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I will legitimately cry, and it will give it away.
As Sawyer, as the hag just points a finger, gritting your teeth, with all of the fury after seeing this mysterious night drop beside her, Sawyer is just overcome by this necrotic energy, and it's almost as if a shadow just appeared right behind him, and then just plunged the shadowy blade straight through him as he drops to the ground. With that, we go over. Xulen, you had that attack against.
Yeah, seeing that happen to Sawyer, I'm immediately taking my lightning fused claw and just digging it into the prone knight.
Okay.
So a 19 with the advantage.
That hits for sure. Which is a death saving throw from him. There we go. Actually, roll because unless you, if you go to crit, it would be 2.
Yes. So 12 damage.
Okay. Yeah, as you kind of cling into him, you hear more kind of writhing and the reverberation and echoing from inside the knight's armor itself. No, I can't leave her yet. And then with that, we go to Kiddy's turn.
Okay, I'm not sure. Give me a second.
So the moss zombies, do I see them activate? Like they're awake now, aren't just standing still?
Yeah, no, they got out of like this prim and proper statue-like posture and now are kind of like hunching as if they're about to move.
Okay, she is going to assume this means trouble, and she is going to use her action to dash away from these boys. How far away is that?
Oh, where are you trying to run to?
I'm not good at role playing.
If you hold down the click, you can ping in an area.
Like on
There?
here, somewhere. Kind of like
That's
not
like
in direct view, just like.
Yeah, 40 feet.
Okay.
If you kind of
maybe
like
then a little
skirt
bit-
along the water.
Yeah. She's not dealing with that.
Okay.
Go. Did she make it down here? That's in distance, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna move you up one.
Okay.
That way you're not in the water.
Okay.
You probably don't want to be in the
see.
water with bodies decaying in it.
Yeah, probably not.
Wise decision. Anything else you want to do?
Yeah.
Kiddy is kind of like back to back with like Hugo, like ready for combat and everything, and then like the zombies just do like a slight hunching moment. You notice that Hugo stays there, but Kiddy just bolts off initially seeing this.
She'd yell at Hugo to, Hugo, I think they're gonna start walking soon. You might want to get out of there. Yeah, that's all she's gonna do because she's saving her bardic inspiration slots.
Okay.
Need it.
Xulen, also remember that you have bardic inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we move on to the zombies' turn, which all see Hugo within range. So yeah, they're gonna go after Hugo. Discord is having a bad day.
It is.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Erin is muted? Was that before or after? I don't know.
That was
I think it was before.
Okay, I'm just checking. Yeah, so all the zombies are gonna run up and essentially surround Hugo.
Are we gonna get a TPK?
Maddie,
This is
what's
not gonna
your
happen.
AC? That way I can roll these quick.
17.
17.
So I'm gonna use my reaction
Plus
to
3.
use cutting words. on the first zombie that is able to get past Hugo's AC.
Okay. You lucky bastard. Only 2 of them hit. Yeah, as they're kind of...
Then I will roll that one.
Yeah, the first one to hit is an 18. So you would need to wait, so you would reduce it by 1 for sure. Yeah, so it misses. And then the other one
Thank you.
just completely just swipes into her. You are going to take, I forget what this claw attack is, 2d4 plus 2. That is 9 damage, and then can you make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw? Almost as if it swipes its claw into you, and you almost feel like this poison begin to kind of
14.
attach to your body. Okay, you overcome it. There we go. Oh wait, no, 1 more would hit because flanking. I forgot. That one was lower than the one that Keck used, so that makes sense. That would be only 4 damage that time. And then another DC 10 con saving throw. I have to remember flanking.
12.
12. Okay, you pass. Yeah, as they all kind of wail into you. Being surrounded, you do a surprisingly good job just kind of using your sword to kind of swipe at their hands every time that they're just lunging at you. However, as you kind of take a step back trying to dodge a couple of them, you kind of lean into a couple more attacks just because they're coming from every which angle. And that leads us to Gop's turn.
And Gob says she is unavailable at the moment.
That's right, Gob's asleep.
So Uricius is going to just kind of hold his arm out in front of Xulen and go, "No, stop." And Uricius is going to go, we don't need to do this. Please, just let me, I have so many healing spells. Let me know if it'll be something that'll work. I want to help. I can stabilize him at the very least. Please just let me stabilize him.
Yeah, I'll allow you to roll persuasion at disadvantage, but like, she is not having this.
Okay. Please tell me a 15's good enough.
No. You generally see the idea kind of go through her head, and like there's a slight kind of look over as she looks at the body, and you can tell it's almost there, that like you can almost see her kind of agreeing with what you just said, but then you see her kind of grit her teeth as she looks back down at it. I need your souls now.
Well, Uricius is going to use Spare the Dying on this night anyway.
Oof.
Instead of Sawyer?
Actually, you know what? No, he's not going to use Spare the Dying. He's going to make a medicine check and try and stabilize him on the night. And then he'll use Spare the Dying on Sawyer in a second.
This medicine check would be made at disadvantage.
That is okay, because
I'm not going to say why, but it becomes very evident real quickly as you try to like lean down and start touching this knight. Something's weird going on here.
So, how is an 18 for you?
18 is enough to stabilize the knight. However, it is still kind of on the ground, and you can definitely tell it's not in good shape.
That's okay. Uricius will leave him there, and then you Spare the Dying on Sawyer.
Is Spare the Dying an action? Or bonus? I always forget.
I always forget as well, actually, because
medicine would be your
bonus.
action.
Spare the Dying
right.
is an action.
It is an action.
Yes,
so
it is. Never mind. Uricius will just sit there and look pretty then.
All right. Hugo, surrounded by the zombies.
Alright, I have a question about this map.
Uh-huh.
So, this corner up here,
Yes.
it looks like there's cliff on one side and like swamp on the other.
Right here?
I'm hanging.
It's like that general sorry, let me get ruler along, like right there. It's not really a cliff, it's almost like this weird algae is like growing over. There is kind of there is a little drop like right here.
Mm-hmm. And does it look like maybe non-traversable here?
Going in the water or along this little cliff?
Yeah, along that little like thing there.
You could definitely make a jump across.
I'm more thinking like if I got myself into this corner, would the zombies be able to surround me?
Oh, if you got here.
Ones that can.
You're not sure if, assuming they can't go in the water, they probably wouldn't be able to completely surround you now. There's definitely kind of your back's against a wall, so you definitely have kind of the advantage there, at least for fighting. If you're wondering if they could get flanking, no, they couldn't get flanking with that situation.
Alright, so I'm going to disengage.
Okay.
And then run up here. Oh, I took...
You see, as you kind of try to duck your way out of all the zombies, they all take like a massive swipe, but they just come up cold as you just kind of narrowly weave your way through this, almost as if this is a familiar kind of situation.
And from zombies, my experience fighting zombies, does it look like they move faster than normal zombies?
No, they seem about the... I mean, zombies in D&D are a little bit faster than like what we think. They move about like a normal humanoid. But yeah, they don't seem any particularly faster than that. They're still kind of like hunching around and almost struggling to move.
Alright, and with that, Hugo is going to take his blade and slice his wrist with it, and as he does so, the blade starts to glow a bright light that extends out 20 feet from him, and he holds it threateningly at the zombies.
Okay. What is the damage type?
Radiant.
Radiant. Okay. Awesome.
And I get an extra die against...
As you kind of light it up, the bright light, almost akin to like Uricius in this really grayish kind of zone. You see them all kind of cover their eyes and hiss at you. However, you notice that as you do light it up, it's not that it's not the same power, but the light is definitely flickering. It's as if it's fighting with kind of the darkness in the air itself.
I take a die of damage.
And then with that, we move on to Xulen.
Okay, a lot has happened. Well, since he sees the knight is still on the ground, he's just gonna jump around right there. And he is going to be taking 2 swipes with his claws at the witch.
Yay!
Okay.
Oh, at the witch. Oh,
Go ahead.
I can at least do that.
Let's see. So the first attack.
I don't even know what her armor class is. There it is.
First attack was a 13.
Does not hit.
You use Bardic Inspiration. So
That does hit.
19
Does hit.
for 13 damage.
13, and how much of it is lightning?
4 of it.
4. Perfect.
Okay, then I'm going to use my bonus action to take a second swipe.
Awesome. As kind of your beast-like instincts just take over for a brief moment, and you just wail on this thing as if like an animal fighting for its life.
And with a 17 hit
17 just hits.
for 8 damage, 2 of it lightning.
Vivid lightning. Awesome.
So I'm just taking the claw and just jamming it into her gut at this point. Just letting electricity kind of course through her.
Every time that you kind of swipe at her, your claws are definitely doing damage, but she kind of has like this thick leather-like skin atop of it, and you're just slowly scratching through the surface. And you notice that whenever you kind of strike with the lightning damage, you kind of initially think it's gonna like surge throughout her body, but it just kind of fizzles a little bit.
And that'll be the end of my turn.
I need to roll for Sawyer.
Alright, and then while you're rolling, Sawyer is on the ground. He is bleeding very heavily from this. He's conscious, but he doesn't seem to be present in mind, if that makes sense. He calls Sabrina. He's calling out for someone. The name that y'all don't recognize.
Okay. Is that all that you're gonna kind of say?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, he's Sabrina.
You
Not yet.
you can crawl
Okay.
5 feet if you would wish.
Okay. He is.
For podcast listeners, another one of my variant rules is that whenever you fall unconscious, you can choose to instead kind of stay conscious. Basically, you can take no actions besides move 5 feet on your turn, and it leads to some interesting scenarios where you can kind of say your final words or kind of rally on your comrades.
Yeah, no, he's not going to move. He's in too much pain.
Okay.
His dog is staying very close though, and is very wary about letting people near him.
Can you make a sorry, I need to pull it up. Can you make another wisdom saving throw? DC 15.
Oh, yes.
As you guys kind of see this shadowy eminence kind of appear back over Sawyer and draw the shadowy blade as if it's about to strike him in the back as he's on the ground. Shadowy figure is going to stab Sawyer in the back.
Oh.
As you just see this blade just pass through him and make another kind of incision just straight through his chest as Sawyer's laying down on the ground. And with that, we
Sawyer screams.
move to the knight. The knight is going to... Knight is still unconscious. After Sawyer kind of healed him up, he just kind of lost the will to kind of keep himself up, and he just kind of flopped on the ground. He's alive, but definitely not up and fighting. Hag kind of looking around at everything going on. She is going to point towards... I need to think about this. What do I want to do here?
I'm trying so hard to play as my character, but out of character, I just want to kick ass.
She's gonna whisper a few words, almost as she looks over at the knight. I'm sorry, but maybe in another life. And she's going to turn invisible. That is all for her turn. Kiddy, you're up.
I see, from where I am right now, am I able to see what's going on kind of outside the cabin?
Yeah, there's definitely a cluster of things. You definitely just saw... You saw the shadow just completely backstab Sawyer that was already out on the ground, and then you saw the hag in kind of the most remorse way possible say goodbye to the knight on the ground, and then just turns invisible into the dark grayness of your environment currently.
Could Kiddy reasonably make the connection that the Black Knight, that fake Uricius, was talking about, the previous night is this same person?
I would say that's up to you. If you want to make that connection, yeah. It would generate like a blackish knight kind of walking into the Crimson Grove. It fits the description. I would say it's entirely up to you if Kiddy wants to believe that or not.
I'm also wondering, would she be able to make the connection that the hag is the fake Uricius because of all the contradictions in memory?
I'm still going to say that's up to you, but I would definitely say that's a harder kind of connection to make. You haven't really seen her do.
For that?
If you want to do an intelligence check, and I can determine it. It's hard because
I
you,
have a +3.
Despite kind of like invisibility and a few kind of magical spells, you haven't really seen anything to necessarily like support that it's Uricius, or that it was this fake Uricius that you saw.
I'm trying to make the intelligence check. See if no.
Yeah, it's
I think
just.
she would only think that this Black Knight was who they were talking about.
Okay. Yeah, it's very much up in the air as you kind of try to connect the dots. There's just not enough for you to kind of like grasp onto and like make that jump. Anything else that you want to do on your turn?
Would that be my action? Try and decipher that? Just
No,
like
I would say a thought is not really an action.
Okay. I'm gonna look at this.
I want to telepodcast. That's a ruling as a DM. Technically, any like ability check is supposed to kind of go into it. But if it's something in that where like I'm thinking for a second, I'm gonna rule no. That's not gonna kind of cost your action. Versus kind of something like you're pulling someone out of the way. I would say like yeah, you are devoting your turn to kind of doing that.
Okay. This is tough. I think she would. Oh my goodness gracious! She's going to speak in Abyssal, and call out to the hag that disappeared, and she's going to yell out.
You said abyssal?
Abyssal, yes.
Okay.
We could still try to help this Black Knight. It's not all lost. If you need souls, then maybe we could provide somewhere.
Would Uricius be allowed to respond at this moment?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah? Uricius would go, what are you thinking? We'll find something else first.
All right. Anything else you want to do on your turn? Sorry.
That's it.
Okay. As we move
I'm gonna talk.
on to the zombies that are going to try and kind of only really two of them can kind of fit into there. A third one's gonna like try to make its way in and kind of like try to reach you in between them, but just can't get through, with the others just kind of cornering you on this fairly kind of crowded little like jut off shore of the pond around, as you're kind of standing there, not only the kind of like rotting flesh from the zombies, but like kind of the bodies fermenting in the water themselves. It's a very wrenching kind of situation. You're gonna
I'm going to prepare cutting words again, like for that reaction if one of them is able to hit.
Okay. You're gonna see the zombies kind of go up there and try to swipe at you. They're not gonna be able to. They're gonna try to like reach over the cliff and just take a couple swipes, but they miss with no problem. The last one is gonna kind of see Kiddy doing that, and I need to break out my ruler. Yep, okay. It's gonna run all the way up to Kiddy along the shoreline. Against Kiddy, it's gonna take a swipe. 19 to hit.
Let's see. Oof.
I-
Yes.
Did you specify cutting words against any of them, or just
It's just if anyone were gonna hit Hugo.
Okay. Thank you for being honest with that. That's going to be 8 points of slashing damage and DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
Ow. That hurts. 19.
Okay. Yeah, you succeed. Again, as the claws kind of rip into your armor and just into your flesh, you feel the tingling as if some sort of like poison is just roughly touching you, but you kind of snap through all suddenly and come back. And then the two in front of Hugo are going to take a swipe at you. One of them hits with a 22. You can reduce that by your cutting words.
Yeah. Let me roll for that. It's 4.
4, 22, 18.
4 points off.
Does that still hit you? Okay. Then that's 2d4. 7, 9 damage. 9 slashing damage, DC 10 con save. Where
It's
is
10.
10. Okay, so you just barely pass. As the claws kind of sink into you with that poison. This time, you kind of feel it, and it just causes your muscles to kind of spasm for a second as you kind of feel the pain overtake you. But you manage to kind of grit your teeth and pull through. Pretty boy Hugo is not looking so good.
No, I'm not.
The other one just completely swipes and misses you. At this point, Gob, you are now kind of suddenly awoken. You've just felt this wave of kind of lethargic energy kind of come off of you, and then you just like sprawl awake, kind of seeing the whole situation.
Gob is gonna look at the hag is gone, ain't she?
Yeah, the hag's completely gone.
Can Gob see the zombies from where she is?
Yes. You can see also kind of the faint figure of Hugo just surrounded by this horde of these.
He's like doubled over with his glowing sword in one hand. He's looking bleeding heavily from these like poisoned wounds. It's pretty gnarly.
Oh, wonderful. She's gonna cast Shatter.
Oh, okay.
Which it's gonna be on. Oh, I wish I'm gonna have to use myself
This
to
one?
alliterate the no, the one behind it.
This one?
This one.
Okay, so it would be that
be
one
in
and the three in front of it.
It's gonna be in the square between those two, between the two, right there. Nope, the other square, the empty square.
Okay, this one
Yes.
and this one.
She's gonna cast Shatter.
Okay.
I don't think it shouldn't hit. Wait, would that hit Hugo? Would he be in the 10-foot radius?
If you're shooting it here, 10-foot radius would still include Hugo.
Okay, no, it's the one to the right of that one then. Or it's where it wouldn't hit Hugo. Is the best way I can put it.
10-foot radius. If you wanted to do it here, I would generally rule that that's not going to hit Hugo.
Okay, would that hit the 3 in front of him?
Not the 3 in front. If you want, is there a way that you could hit all 3 in front? Hitting all 3 is going to be hard, just because it's a radius effect.
That's fine. Wherever she can hit the most of them without hitting Hugo.
I would generally rule that this one is going to be your best shot. You're going to hit the 2 up of the cliffs and the one immediately ahead of him.
Okay. That is a Constitution saving throw for them. DC 12.
Fail. All of them fail.
Oh, good. About time something good happens. I swear to God, if these dice fuck me over, cause let me roll my die on my phone, because sometimes the phone likes me definitely more than Roll 20 ever does.
As Gob is kind of startled awake, tries to gather out the situation about what's going on, and just immediately kind of glimpses at Hugo on kind of a perilous whim over by the cliff, and starts casting a spell.
So it's kind of like she screams, but it is really, really loud, and she deals each of them 14 thunder damage.
14. Okay.
That's because I got a 1. I rolled well for the other two. I got a 1.
That one's dead, that one's dead, that one's dead. Is that all for your turn?
She is also going to move towards Hugo.
Okay.
A full 30 feet, which would be like, could it be like right here?
I believe so. Yes, that's perfectly within range.
And for her bonus action, she's gonna prep prep 3 of her buttons for magic stone.
Okay. Sounds good. You guys notice that as you kind of cast shatter, the like bones of these zombies almost kind of vibrate for a second. You just see them all just shatter into dust. However, whenever they kind of touch the floor of this kind of forest, you see them just instantly kind of melt into it. And it's Uricius' turn.
So I know exactly what Uricius is going to do, and he's going to channel his divinity and use Preserve Life on Sawyer, and Sawyer gets 15 HP.
Okay.
So he is back on his feet.
Sawyer's back. Kind of brought back from death's door, literally. Just this burst of kind of radiant light. You've used this before, but here, delight, it's just this battle between like the darkness and the air itself for it to just remotely exist.
So Uricius is going to look at the knights and try and see if he can rouse him.
I need to read a description.
Even if it's just by speaking in common. Like, he's gonna just try and verbally rouse him. Because he doesn't want to touch after seeing, simple words and, like, another...
Oh, yeah, if you're not gonna touch him, no way you're getting him up.
Okay, let me quickly check. Do I have a bonus action anywhere? Healing Word's a bonus action. I didn't know that. If that's the case, Uricius is going to use Healing Word at a 2nd level spell slot, which is 2d4 plus 2. So Sawyer gets an extra 6 health.
Nice.
And...
Sawyer literally brought back from death's door and then is just overrun by this radiant energy from Uricius as you just kind of feel life slowly return back to your body.
Yeah, so Sawyer, with the first spell that Uricius uses when he comes back from death's door, it's like he was, the darkness was starting to close in, and all of a sudden he's just around, he's reaching for someone, and all of a sudden he's surrounded by light. And it takes him, as he's starting to come back and his wounds are starting to close, it takes him a second to realize what's happening, that he's not dead.
So Uricius, with that turn, with the last teeny bit he has left, is going to say to everyone, get rid of the zombies. Do not kill the knight. We can work with this, and we can find a common ground. I believe this strongly. And he's going to have faith in the rest of the party, and that is his turn.
Okay. With that, we go over to Hugo, which still has a couple of the zombies kind of slowly surrounding him as his back is against a kind of cliff face in the murky water.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stab this one that's next to me.
Sounds good.
That's 12.
12 does hit.
It does?
Yes.
Okay.
Zombies aren't particularly fast.
So that is 7 plus 5, 12 piercing damage, and
Okay.
5 radiant damage.
Okay. Especially with kind of the radiant damage, you initially kind of slash at the zombie, and you see it kind of like not do as much as you would initially kind of want, but the second the radiant damage kind of hits him, you just kind of see him explode with kind of fragments of this bones and dust and moss going everywhere, and as it kind of hits the water and it hits the forest floor again, you just kind of see it dissolve and go away.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. And also, for my bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Word on myself.
Okay.
And it's like this, it's the same word in Druidic that Sawyer uses, but it's said by somebody who clearly doesn't quite understand what he's saying or how to say it properly.
Okay.
So it's just kind of garbled.
Fair enough. Anything else you want to do on your turn? Okay. We're on to Xulen.
So Xulen. Oh, for some reason Roll20 just closed on me.
It's all good.
Xulen is going to make a beeline for that zombie that's closest to him and just start taking swipes at it.
Alrighty.
So let's see, the first swipe. The 16 hit
16 does hit.
for 9 damage.
Alright.
As he's just basically trying to lop the thing's head off with his claws.
Alright. You gotta do another one as your bonus.
Yep.
Alright. Go ahead and roll for that. 19 hits.
And 14 damage this time as
Lops
he goes
its-
into the finishing blow.
Lops its head clean off, sends it flying into kind of the murky water. Amongst all the other bodies and such, the body hits the forest floor, kind of partially in the water, partially on land, and you see it just kind of dissolve as if the others have.
And for his remaining turn, he's going to move up a little bit close back to where he was, watching, staring at the night.
Alright. Sawyer, you are currently prone. So do you use half your movement speed to get up?
Yeah, I'm going to get up.
Okay.
And I'm going to move next to Uricius. He kind of clasps his hand on Uricius' shoulder and says, "Thank you." And
Don't thank me yet.
and he kind of kneels down to take a look at the night, seeing as he's far away to do anything about the zombie. Over. Is it okay for me to roll either an investigation check or something to see if I can glean anything about the night and what might be going on?
It would be Arcana, if you wanted to
Arcana? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot. Also, he hears he hears what sounds like garbled druidic, and he's just like, "What's that?" Okay, let's see. Where is the Arcana? That was
Neat. Yeah, as you kind of look over the body, you still see this shadowy mirage kind of emanating from the night. You've never seen anything like this. it's super bizarre. Like it seems as if it's like minor illusion, but with like everything going on and with all the spells and everything, you know that something's definitely up.
So he's just kind of staring at the night, perplexed, and he kind of like unconsciously puts his hand over the exit wound of where he was stabbed, and mumbles to himself, "I wonder why speaking in Sylvan hurt him."
Okay. Is that all for your turn?
Yeah, I'm like doing the Arcana check would have taken up my action. Yeah, I don't think. Well, not that I think there's anything else I could really do with my action.
Knight still remains motionless there. We hop over to Kiddy.
The hag. There's no trace of the hag. It's just gone. No footprints whatsoever.
Nope.
Good for the hag.
Hag is very good at running away.
Oh yeah. So, seeing that the threat is mostly gone, like there's one zombie over there, I'm sure they can deal with that. He is going to join Sawyer, Uricius, and Xulen.
Okay.
She is going to go to the side. She'll be able to make it there with just regular movement, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's within range.
Okay. And she's going to try and... Is this some kind of creature she's heard about before? Like something written about, or documented, or used? Make an Arcana check? History check?
You in particular, you can make a history at disadvantage. This is so outside the realm of something you would know. But I will... You know, you might have heard it in a fairy tale or something.
Okay. That rolled once.
16.
That's a 16.
When you were a kid, there was kind of a tribal town nearby you, who had kind of this fortune teller, very kind of well known, and they were kind of nomadic and came into Nantucket for a couple days and gave fortunes and everything. However, the rest of the nomadic tribe kind of stayed there for a prolonged period of time, but the figure was said to kind of walk out into the Fallen Star Forest, kind of proclaiming that he needs to become better than what he was before. Over the next few days, the kind of nomadic tribe was waiting around, and eventually he reappeared. However, he seemed drastically different in nature. The magic that he cast, it almost seems as it was fighting to actually exist. Kind of his nice emerald eyes have now turned into like this faint pink, almost reddish color. He was very kind of deceptive, had massive mood swings and everything. And there was the occasional kind of flickering in his shadow. Whenever you would see kind of bright light shine over him, you would see almost kind of this writhing mound in his shadow. To what that actually is, you're not sure, but it is definitely something that you've somewhat have seen.
Okay.
Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Does this thing look like it's awake?
No, it looks cold out. The eyes are shoved in everything.
Okay. Besides inspecting it to know what it is, I'm not going to do anything else. Turn.
Okay. We move on to, I believe it's Gob? Yeah. Over with the last zombie and Hugo.
Alrighty. Gob is gonna look at the zombie.
Mm-hmm.
And she is gonna shoot one of her buttons, slingshot one of her buttons at it.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll against it.
Am I using my spell modifier or the
Spell
slate
modifier, because you have the magic stone.
Good. Same modifier either way. I forgot. That's a dirty 20.
Okay, yeah, that hits no problem.
That is 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
As you just kind of wail into it, the stone just knocks off like a giant piece of its shoulder, and you see like one of its arms just like banging, barely holding on by a couple of these vines. And we go over to Uricius.
So at this point, Uricius, seeing Sawyer and everyone around him, he's going to turn to Kiddy and go, as long as it does not hurt Gob, keep her away from this night. We do not know what she will do. And for the rest of you, because we know that Sylvan obviously did something to hurt him, so don't touch him until we can figure something out. There are potions in here, maybe something will work. All we need to do is find a way to bring him to find out what we can do to help, and to find out if maybe they are the reason that that elven ship hand went missing. And if that's the case, then we have some bad news for those people running the ship.
I'm gonna kind of switch it over to Hugo's turn, who has been epically kind of fighting off this horde of zombies over in the corner, and kind of gets to make a final blow against the zombie. And as you're doing that, you definitely notice that it's not as aggressive. It's still lunging towards you, but it seems far less kind of coordinated.
That's fine. I'm still gonna kill it.
You're gonna kill it no matter what. It's at 1 HP. How do you want to do this? That's true.
That's a 9 to hit.
That does not hit.
Of course.
You jinxed yourself.
Yeah. Should have
It
just
was all
gone with...
Evan. Evan was like building me up there.
Oh,
He's
wait,
like,
wait.
Kill it no matter what.
No, you would have advantage right now.
I would? Oh, okay.
Yes. It is actively not trying to stop your blow.
That was an 8 to hit.
This zombie almost literally stands there, and you take a couple of swipes, and you kind of think it's just the adrenaline that's gotten like the better hand of you, and you kind of swing your sword, and you just feel this fatigue kind of weigh over you, and you miss. Xulen?
Yeah.
Xulen is just seeing this nonsense and just pulls out his crossbow and takes a shot at it.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh shoot, I didn't program in the crossbow.
Well, it should just be here.
Dex proficiency.
Never mind, that is a complete miss. It's just embarrassing.
Alright, Hugo, since you're over there, do you want to take another swing?
Yes. That's a nat 1.
Oh my god.
Zombie's invincible.
This zombie is just not going to die.
It's because I hold it still, and everyone's
Can I try
expected
again?
to move.
God, would you try to steal the thunder from Hugo, or would you just let it happen?
Kill it.
Gob is gonna take her dagger and walk up to it and stab it.
I like to imagine that Gob just casually walks up to it and then kind of like with like elbow bent out, hand towards chest, kind of like pokes it quickly with the knife.
Let's see if it hits first.
Guys, it has a 12 AC. It shouldn't be this hard.
Let's say, I mean, it hits because it's a 17 to hit.
Yes, that hits. It's at 1 HP. How do you want to kill this thing?
Gob just walks up to it, and she jumps up and plunges her dagger into its chest, and uses her weight to pull down it.
Okay. As you just kind of hear, it's not even like the sharpness of the dagger or anything. You just hear the bone snapping as you pull it down the ribcage, as it kind of falls in half almost and just kind of goes onto the ground, and then you see it quickly kind of dissolve into the forest.
Very pleased with herself.
Hugo gives Gob a little nod of respect.
She
And then
holds
looks
her
over
hand
at
out to
Xulen
him.
in disappointment.
She holds her hand out to him.
He gives her a piece of jerky.
She does not want that.
He gives her a button.
She does want that. She pockets both the jerky and the button.
I like this deal better. Alright. You guys, by the skin of your teeth, managed to get out of that combat alive. And with a couple lucky rolls.
So I see them all standing around something. I'm gonna go check that out.
You do.
Yeah. First thing Xulen is doing is using his feral might. He is picking up Uricius and slamming him to the ground.
Gob is gonna attack him.
This isn't him going to play through. This
Yeah.
is him just pinning him to the ground.
Gob is still going to slingshot.
Oh my
it.
god.
This is just gonna. What the fuck?
Alright.
Notice that all of his Xulen's normal cockiness, all that lightheartedness is just completely gone from his face at this point.
Does a 21 hit?
With what are you using?
Magic
her
stone.
magic button.
Yeah, that hits.
I mean, it would probably hit with her dagger too if she threw it at you. So
Come full circle.
Oh my god.
Is 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
I like to picture she sees this happening, and she slingshots her button at you, and it hits the back of your head.
He jolts at that, but his eyes are just focused in right on Uricius.
He has
You're
another
gonna
one ready.
look up at him and go, if you have a problem with me trying to keep everyone out of harm's way, then go ahead and tear up my throat now.
No.
But I am someone who will try and find common ground before anything else.
He just gets really close to you and just very calmly goes, "Never gamble the life of an innocent to save a damned one."
Do I, at this point, see the
Yes.
evil being on the ground with shadows rising out of it?
Yeah.
I run forward and I stab it with my radiant.
Okay, how about this? I was getting ready to
It's
cast
happening.
sleep on Bob, but I'm gonna cast sleep on Hugo instead.
I am going to say, based off the order to which people have told me this, is that Hugo will get to make an attack, and then following, you can cast your spell.
Oh my god.
Okay. We're all getting sleep tonight, okay?
Come on. That is a.
You would have advantage.
21
It's still
to hit?
prone.
Oh, that's a 24 to hit.
Okay.
No, you just roll damage.
Is it an undead?
It is an undead.
Alright. So that is 10 piercing damage. 7 radiant damage.
Yeah. As you kind of plunge into it, you kind of hear as more blood is kind of splurted out everywhere. The radiant damage killed it.
Xulen kind of looks up and goes, "I'd rather he was alive for interrogation, but all things considered."
It died?
Uricius is going to yell at Hugo, "What do you think you were doing? I finally stabilized him! We could have saved him and helped him! What is wrong with you?"
Hugo looks at you in complete confusion. What are you talking about? You guys were just sitting here staring at this thing with shadows coming out of it.
Oh my god. We will not have this
You didn't see
confrontation
anything
right
that
now.
was
She's
going
casting... She's casting sleep on Hugo.
Okay.
Not talking about
This
this
is a
right now.
conversation for later.
What's is there a save on that, or is it just?
It's your hit points, I think.
It's just. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to cast it
probably
at
out.
second level.
Oh yeah, no, because level's definitely going down.
Yeah.
Gav is gonna run up towards Xulen while swearing in Draconic.
How do I write this in the chat?
Wait, Gob knows Draconic?
She is using even more than a sailor would.
No,
At this
how
point,
did-
Xulen is just slowly getting off Uricius.
Here.
I'd
You're
rather
do
it was
it.
left alive.
Uricius is just gonna stay there.
How do I
and
roll 78 in
slam
this
his-
chat?
Yeah.
/R
okay.
78.
It's 33.
I'm
It also
thinking that-
passes on to the next target, so I'm gonna pass it on to Gob to see if I can sleep them as well.
What is Gob's current HP?
Gav's current hit points are 16.
Yeah, Gob.
What's Humperdinck's?
10.
Is Gav asleep again?
Oh,
Yes.
you're both down!
Gob is out.
You're both sleeping.
They both go and take a nappy.
I imagine Hugo runs up, runs this thing through. Yoshi starts yelling. He turns, looks, falls asleep, and lands right on top of this thing.
Fair enough.
Gav just
Uricius.
is running towards the one dude and then passes out mid-step.
You
Uricius at
guys,
this point-
as you're kind of standing around, there's an unsettling feeling as you kind of see some of the bodies in the water beginning to not quite like actively swim towards you, but you begin like see some of their muscles kind of twitch and move.
Oh dear. I have an idea. How about the strongest people carry these two, and I take a sample back of this thing?
Uricius just is gonna carry Gob and he's just gonna go.
Yeah, with my
I-
failed mind, I'm just gonna be picking up the Humperdinck.
Okay. As you kind of grab, yeah, you guys are not gonna have any issues picking them up. What are you guys doing?
Uricius is just gonna walk back. He knows the path that we took through the forest, and he's just gonna start walking back. He's not gonna say anything to anyone, and he's just going to look like he's empty.
Is there any kind of souvenir I could take from the night?
You could easily take a helmet, a glove, a boot, the great swords. Like, yeah.
What kind of fleshy part I could take? Really fleshy.
You could. If you want to chop off something, we want to say there's nothing like biomaterial that is just kind of hanging off.
Hey, can't grab his toe, I
Right.
guess.
You would actually
It's
have
just
to like
going
cut it
to-
off.
Oh no. Kitty's just gonna take the knight's helmet.
Okay.
Yeah. She's going to head back
Dead.
with the rest of them, whoever are going.
All right. As you guys are all kind of meandering your way through, as you kind of follow the path back, you guys are all kind of massively overwhelmed by the negative emotions that have been kind of building up ever since you kind of took this voyage into the journey. And you just completely feel them overwhelming you. At this point, I would say all of you are very much kind of on edge and extremely irrational. Even like the smallest person kind of like coughing could put you at ease or put you at like an anger fit at this point. But as you kind of continue more, you guys kind of see the color fade back into the Crimson Grove and this kind of grayish environment fade away. And then as you just pass one more tree, all of that negative emotion just kind of drops. It's gone. And the Crimson Grove looks completely normal. Even when you turn around, you don't really see that grayish environment that you once knew. But right in front of you is a what seems to be another one of those knights. However, the eyes are kind of not glowing. They're kind of this distinctive kind of green that you can see behind it. And he just kind of looks at you, group, kind of looks at Kiddy's helmet. Civilizations are all the same. And you see him kind of walk off through the woods, almost heading towards the shore.
Uricius is gonna call after him. Wait, please wait.
You see him just keep on walking, but he's like, his armor is making a path that you could easily follow him if you wanted to.
Uricius is going to kind of give Kiddy gob and go, please take care of her. I need to make this right. I need to do this. I have to, and he's gonna follow.
Sawyer's going to follow Uricius as well.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Kitty's confused because she wanted to follow them too. Is there anyone behind her she can give gob to?
That's just left Xulen carrying everything in lichen form.
Yeah.
And that lichen form's gonna wear
All
out
right,
at some point.
I'm gonna give gob to Xulen.
They're holding these things and just like, what?
They both are like, right now it's not really an issue, but you know it's just like a couple seconds this is gonna be a big issue.
Yeah, as soon as that lichen form, the fail strength wears off, I'm gonna be like, oh no.
God.
Do you just kind of hold them there in shock?
A little bit, yeah, just like, what?
Okay.
What?
As you guys kind of run off, you're not far off from the shoreline. He's kind of on the beach and he just kind of keeps on walking. And as you...
Please.
I'm done with your folk. And as you...
I tried to save him. I just want to know. I want to know if there was anything I could have done.
Maybe in another life. And as you see this form kind of twist and morph, wings sprout out from its back, as you see it grow to at least like 100 feet in size, this almost onyx black dragon just slowly walks his way into the ocean, and you see his head just slowly descend as he disappears beneath the blue. And with that, we're gonna end the session.
Holy shit!
Woo! Roller coaster of emotions, everybody.
Wow.
Yours is broken after this. No, this has shattered him. This is just like, this is his second time where he has not been able to save someone from a near-death experience where he's just watched someone die right in front of him and there was nothing he could do. No, this is gonna be a while. Forget mad. He's a broken man.
And strangely enough, Xulen is actually looking at you at this point as an actual threat to people. It wasn't the fact.
I'll talk about this next session, but Xulen, definitely from where you saw, you kind of like saw the being and like the whole party just basically follow it. However, after it got past the tree line, you kind of lost sight. Then just moments later, you see these giant black wings just sweep over the forest, and then just a few minutes later, they're gone.
Oh no!
How long does sleep last?
A minute.
Let me check.
It lasts a minute.
Okay.
So would that mean that we would see that as well?
I would say it's up to you guys if you choose to or not to. You're definitely very exhausted after the battle. It's entirely up to you if you want to actively be awake. I would definitely say the gust of wind is going to kind of like help with that if you want to use that.
I think Gob saw it and she starts screaming in Draconic at it.
Okay. Anyways, we're gonna pick that up next session. Just because, yeah, I think it's a good place to end it in a clean way.
Yeah.
Man, I hate how that had to happen. If it wasn't for the fact that, like,
That Gob
Sawyer had said something, Uricius would have had that.
I know. I feel so bad. I am so sorry.
Guys,
Yeah,
guys,
Why
don't,
do you feel bad? I'm the one who
Right
fucked
there,
up.
baby.
guys,
That was
don't
beautiful.
don't apologize because something bad happened. I think it was a cool experience as a result.
No,
Oh yeah,
was
that
so
worked out.
out of
But yeah, it was cool, but I still feel guilty.
That worked
Well,
out.
don't.
Yeah.
You're playing a game
I mean,
with friends.
Sawyer
None of us
feels
are mad.
I mean,
No,
I mean-
as a
None of us are
character,
mad.
that was amazing. No, that
I
was
mean,
a
none
lot.
of y'all might, none of y'all might feel bad, but I like feel mad. But I feel mad at myself. So
Oh,
But that one.
We're alive.
for getting us into that encounter.
We're gonna get into it eventually. You just
Not really. Not if we played our cards right.
You have two
Oh.
people that really enjoy hunting these things.
yeah. For me, this is kind of the profession. That's what actually the only thing I was mad about was you killing the knight because I wanted to interrogate it.
Well, I mean, he just like showed up around the corner. You guys were sitting around this like shadowy thing he had never seen. What was he supposed to do?
Yeah, fair enough. And the
Okay,
only
but if
reason
it
my
was-
guy's actually mad at Uricius is that he prioritized trying to save the knight over saving Sawyer when he was dying. That was literally the snapping point for him.
So the only reason Uricius did that is because Uricius knew that he would be able to save Sawyer without a problem using his divine powers. He knew that he could bring Sawyer up without even using Spare the Dying because he still had his channel divinity after that at long rest.
I don't know that. And also, my character's thought is, what if the hag doesn't try to escape? What if she goes for the finishing blow instead? And that was kind of the whole of, oh my god, why would you? How could he couldn't even comprehend the idea of trying to save somebody over definitely saving an innocent life?
Wow, look at
Uricius
this
is-
character
Uricius
conflict.
is-
No. Hold it. This last little recap is for general thoughts. It's not about kind of talking about characters. If you want to talk about that, do it next session or out of the session. I would also recommend taking a few minutes and taking a breather because it was I will acknowledge, a pretty intense situation for everybody involved.
I
Um,
like how this means that Hugo has killed his first dragon.
you don't know it was a dragon.
Oh my god!
Okay, so let me get
Um,
this out of the way. Let me get this misconception out of the way. Dragons use polymorph. They can use polymorph. That does not mean that knight was a dragon. What that means, at least from what everyone else in the area knows, if anyone knows anything about dragons, is that that dragon polymorphed to look the same as that knight, just with different colored eyes. That does not mean they're a dragon. That just means that dragon made themselves look similar to that creature.
As far as Hugo's concerned, he's killed a dragon.
So, what are, besides all of the moments that happened, what are people's thoughts about that session?
It was
liked it.
interesting.
Are
That
we
was
are we
good.
done? Are we done recording?
Well, no, this is kind of like
Okay.
players' thoughts and everything. Just a little
Yeah,
section at the end.
Not gonna
Yeah,
lie, I
I-
did start crying. That's why I turned my camera off, as I was crying.
Oh no.
Oh no,
I
I'm
don't feel like
sorry.
either me or Humperdinck was going to start that combat initially. Is whether we got a surprise round or not.
This
Yeah.
party
that was
is
gonna
split
happen.
into
What
3
would
and
have
3.
happened?
People who will kill them and people who will not.
So what would have happened is Uricius would have tried to actually approach peacefully and go, I hear the problem, let me help. And that probably would have started initiative.
And if it didn't, the moment Hugo got involved, it would be
Yeah.
an evil thing. Let's kill it.
Yeah. Also, as soon as Xulen sees that hag, he's like, "That's a thing that tried to kill an entire town."
Yes, but
God just wanted to give her a button, okay? Just wanted to give her a
Started
button.
on
She
my-
saw
Yeah.
this interaction going down. She felt sad. She doesn't know how to understand sadness, so she wanted to give her a button.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had the most pure intentions out of everybody.
I don't know, the most purely
And
naive
Sawyer,
thing ever.
Sawyer just wanted to know what was going on
Oh,
too,
man,
especially
Kiddy
since
has great
Xulen mentioned.
intentions.
Yeah, Sawyer just wanted to know what was going on, like especially since Xulen mentioned that it could have been the work of a druid. I mean the work of a of a
Fae.
dryad, excuse me,
Mhm.
of the Fae that did that. Like that's part of his whole thing. He because of things that happen in his backstory that I'm not going to say, he wants to protect the Fae. That's like his reason for going on right now. So yeah, mistakes were made. Mistakes were made.
Yeah, but it's not like you
The-
could have noticed.
This
Yeah.
piano song sounds like every sad commercial piano song.
Sorry, my laptop just decided to restart.
Oh no.
All good.
You're fine.
For the laptop.
Like,
But
straight
yeah.
up was like, we ran into a problem. We need
Fair
to
enough.
restart.
Anyways,
That was
One thing I didn't
intense.
notice was where was Daisy during that entire fight?
I tried to mention before, a couple times before, that she was staying, she stays close to Sawyer unless he gives a command. And in the chaos, I mentioned that she was staying close to his body and not really wanting to let people get near him.
Yeah.
After that, but
little
because
Doge standing over his dad,
Yeah.
her dad's body.
yeah, just a little mop, like, don't touch him. My dad, but probably also not able to do anything against Shadow because. Yeah, and like one of my main things is I absolutely do not want Daisy to die. Like I can't.
Are you
And-
assuming I am not that evil of a DM?
Don't worry.
I wasn't sure. I don't know. I don't know anything apparently.
I don't know anything after this session, okay, Evan? He tried to kill us all.
I mean, he always tries to kill us all. Let's be real.
But yeah, so that, and I wanted, I kind of want Daisy to, I guess, function similarly to a familiar, but I haven't been able to we haven't been able to find any good homebrew stuff to make them like a traditional druid's companion
Hmm.
from 3.5e.
Yeah.
So that's why Daisy's been a little bit more nebulous.
Mhm.
But I do plan on having her be more active. I'm not sure what I can do with her at this point. But
Mhm.
she's a very important part of Sawyer's character because
Yeah.
reasons
Yeah.
I'll get into later.
Gob's cat stood back because she doesn't like mud.
Good excuse.
Well, yeah, you can also dispel her.
Well, where's the fun in that? She probably stayed at the tavern because she doesn't.
Well,
like
isn't it
mud.
if you're within 1 mile that she just disappears? Something like that?
I didn't see anything like that in the thing. I just know it's
Unfamiliar.
within. I know that
There's a
it's,
certain distance that it just poofs.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I think it's a mile, but I don't know.
let me see because I didn't see anything like that in the spell. I just know that if she's not within 100 feet of her, they can't telepathically communicate.
Oh, that must be what I'm thinking of, probably. As an action... Oh yeah, no. It can stay there. Yeah, it just can't communicate with you. That makes sense. I didn't know that. I thought there was a range limit. Huh.
Only with communication.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the podcast. Thank you for everybody that came in and watched. We hope that you stick around, listen to a couple more, probably join the Discord and say hi, ask us random questions. We have various things going on the Discord. We have places where you can post art, photographies of pets. There's photos of pets. You can ask me questions about the world. I'm not going into super detail about all of that stuff, but general stuff, more than willing to kind of talk about if we haven't talked about it in the podcast yet. And yeah, talk about D&D in general. We're a nice group of people. We tell a lot of jokes.
There's
Not good people.
I make all the puns. I never miss an opportunity to tell a bad pun. So come join us if you want to hear more.
And if you just want some weird and wacky nerds to hang out with, we're here. We exist. We have meaning.
I exist.
Anyways, thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.